Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Right, we are back Monday evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm here with the one, the only, the Lionheart, Antony Smith. How are you, buddy?
I'm worn out, Michael. These pay-per-views are busy, bro. They are so busy.
You poor guy.
You know what? It would have been nice to have my friend Michael come and hang out. I had some drinks with the boys. I got him to the fights. It was a blast. We had a lot of fun. Well, Brian took me to the Lower East Side and somewhere I didn't deserve to be.
Like a real nice place.
No.
Everyone deserves to be there. It was the diviest bar ever.
Oh, really? Well, one of the top light heavyweight fighters in the world does not deserve to be going to dive bars. Let me ask you, did you like said dive bar?
I did. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. There was like 4 people there, including the 3 of us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, they are fun dive bars. I like that more than some fancy poncy place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
a time and a place for that.
There's time and a place for everything. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into all the stuff. Yes, Brian?
I told Ant, I was like, we can drink, we can have like one drink by your fancy hotel, or you can come down to the Lower East Side and we can drink till 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So we went down to the Lower East Side.
He said, I'll be there. All right, Brian, you interrupt again. We're going to have serious words. We have Darren the Gorilla Till joining us shortly. It is a pre-recorded interview, so Antony isn't on it. I mean, you were welcome, Antony, but you didn't want to get out of bed, and rightly so.
No, I was up. I'm getting back in shape, Michael. We got a fight we're working on here.
Oh.
And I can't start training camp fat and out of shape again. It kills me. So I'm trying to get in shape. So I already had a pre-scheduled practice.
Hey, no, of course. Listen, business comes first. Of course, I'm only pulling your leg. So yeah, Darren Till joins us in a little bit. Obviously, he's on the next pay-per-view, UFC 282, taking on Dricus du Plessis. We hear all about him, what he's been up to, and you know, Darren, it's going to be a fun interview. So stick around for that. Anyway, we got lots to talk about. A shit ton of stuff happened at the weekend. We know you were lardy-dying with the ESPN bigwigs. We know you were out there looking like a man of the people with the Believe You Me crew. We know you were throwing me under a bus. But where do we start? I mean, we got to start with this main event. No, the reason I say throwing you under a bus, Anne,
I was like,
no, because everyone's like in the comments last week, they were like, oh, fucking Bisping, big time. Won't go to New York. You know how many
people came up to me while I was out and said, so what the hell? Mike really didn't show up. He didn't want to hang out with you in New York. I was like, man, you're gonna have to tweet him or something, I guess.
It's a work thing. I'm away almost every single weekend. I'm away next weekend, the weekend after. Then I'll be in Orlando. You know how it is. You know, the one weekend I'm off. I'm not going to say to my missus, I'm going to go to the fights this weekend. I'm not getting paid. I'm going to pay for my own flight, my own hotel, just so we can have a beer. This Friday, though, Antony, you're working, I'm working.
Yeah, I'll see you Friday. Let's do it.
Friday night, Barry's Downtime Prime. We'll go hit that place. Let's go indeed. All right, Pereira, Adesanya. We've got to start with this. Go on, Antony. Take the reins.
Yeah, so I think everyone kind of felt this the entire fight week because I heard a couple different people say it, and of course I would never divulge who they were, but everyone was getting a weird vibe from Izzy. Like he seemed a little different. But you can dissect that a couple different ways. If you watch his walkout, it's the first time in a while there was no dancing, there was no singing, there was nothing. There was no show. It was all business. And I think that's kind of the vibe that everyone got from him all week. But Pereira, he was putting off a weird vibe for everyone too. It was a very, very killer-esque, like I'm here for business and there's no fucking around. And he was very serious and stoic all week long. So I think that gave a lot of people some insight into what the weekend was, what the fight was going to look like. And it delivered. Go ahead.
No. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you finished your point. I was just going to say, I thought the same thing. When Izzy walked out, I watched it here with Rebecca. When he walked out, I went, whoa. Yeah, I said, he looks, And I don't want to say nervous. I just wanted to piggyback on this before you move on to the next point. I don't want to say nervous because, of course, everyone's a little bit nervous. And I don't want to say intimidated or scared, but I think he realized that he had a monumentous task on his hands. Do you know what I mean? So there was no
hyper-focused.
There's no room for the theatrics. There's no room for cocking his leg as he's walking in and doing the dancing and all the rest of it, because this time he's taking on someone that's beaten him twice. He's same height as him, hits like a motherfucker, and he's like, shit, I've got to put all my energy into that. But sorry, continue.
No, and that's the feeling I had too, was he is very aware of the danger that he's in. So the fight starts. It was a great night of fights. I thought there was a lot of really good fights on the card. There wasn't too many stinkers. And it gets going, and it looks like Izzy is kind of having his way a little bit, kind of how we thought it might go. He was a little more aggressive than I thought he was going to be. He exchanged more times than I expected him to, but he was very mobile. He stayed on his bike. He was doing a good job of hitting without getting hit. But I think a couple things happened to Izzy in that fight that he's not used to happening. He got hit with a lot of jabs, a lot of hard jabs. He got his lead leg banged up a lot more than he has in the past, because he's in there with someone who matches him physically, who's equally as long, equally as skilled on his feet. And I think that those couple things were throwing him off a little bit. And I kind of felt like if this fight goes on long enough, Israel's going to get caught. I thought the wrestling exchanges were absolutely insane. I'm not going to pretend for a second.
When you say insane, when you say insanely good or insanely bad?
I was going to say the fact that they happened is what's insane to me. I'm not going to for a second pretend that they were super high level or that there was a lot of black belt technique going on in there. But when you get two guys that are similar in style or at least skill level in one technique, and then they're facing each other, like you get a blue belt with a black belt, it's going to be a murder one way. You get two really well-matched blue belts, and it turns out to be pretty good matches typically. And that's kind of what I think we were seeing. It was just not what I expected. Izzy went to the clinch a lot when Pereira was coming forward. He clinched a lot. He was going for trips a bunch. Goddamn, Alex hit like a knee tap blast double. It was like, what the fuck is happening here?
DC called that a crazy takedown, but I'm like, no, that was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
He hit the single, switched to the double, and ran the feet. He ran all the way through it, and he got it. It works, but it was right at the end of the round. Yeah, look.
Well, and a lot of people have tried to take down Izzy and weren't able to do that.
Correct. The element of surprise, rule 101. It's not.
Well, he kind of started Izzy's the one who started it, so I don't know why it was such a surprise. But in the middle rounds there, I think Alex started getting gassed a little bit. I think they were both more fatigued from the wrestling probably than either one of them expected. And you talk about this a lot. You get a striker, they can strike forever and never get tired. You get a wrestler, that guy's going to wrestle forever. You start switching up skill sets. You force a wrestler to strike or a striker to wrestle, and the cardio was different. So I think that happened to him a little bit. But Alex stayed focused. He never looked shook. He never looked like he was out. There was some moments in the Leon Edwards fight that Leon just looked beat. He looked beaten, and he would come out and still have a little bit of fire, but in between rounds he looked beaten. I didn't see that from Pereira at all. He was laser focused the whole time. And then obviously we know how the finish went, but I got the feeling the whole time that if Alex had enough time, that he would catch Izzy eventually. It was kind of one of those things where I felt like Israel looked like he was fighting on borrowed time. Like he was doing a good job getting in, getting out. Hurt him real bad at the end of the first. He had one more second. Yeah. He might have put him out completely. But it just seemed like Izzy was doing all he could to just stay just out of the way, and like eventually he's going to figure it out and get him.
Well, of course, that's what he had to do. You know what I mean? We said he's going to be perfect for 25 minutes and 23, something like that, but it doesn't matter, But he was a little cautious. There was some grappling. I thought both men had a good fight. Izzy landed some good shots. The jabs, as you said, from Pereira, fuck me. Every time he would land the jab, boost their head would smack back. It'd send him flying into the octagon. He hits like a monster. He hits fucking hard. And Izzy knew that. Do you know what I mean? So that's why he was picking his shots so well. But I thought
He
both
fought
guys,
great, except for that one time.
He fought great. It was a great fight.
You know what I think happened? I think there was a lot of times where Alex would push him up to the fence and kind of start going off a little bit and letting those punches go. Side note, I thought it was a little interesting how tight Alex Pereira fights, because when he leaps into something big, he wants everything to be real close, almost like a dirty boxing without grabbing onto the head. So Izzy did a pretty good job of that good head movement on the fence and then escaping. I think what happened was he got a little tired and his leg was a little banged up from some of those leg kicks and his mobility wasn't quite there. So I think he got a little comfortable because he was able to escape, move, good head movement, and then bail. I think he's just a tad slow that deep into the 5th round. He was just a little bit behind. I think he just slowed down just a notch, and Pereira's attacks didn't. And I think that's the difference.
It's the 5th round. There's absolutely no shame in that. But of course,
no, not at all.
Both guys are tired. Both guys are tired, and it's who has the fortitude to keep pushing. You know, I thought Pereira, when he threw for the most part, he would land, but he just wasn't throwing that often. Like, one of the things for Pereira that was to his advantage was that he wasn't intimidated. Obviously, we know why. He's beaten him twice. So he would close the distance and be happy and stand there in the trading pocket, if you will, for long periods of time, but not really throw anything. And if he did throw, it was kind of singular shots. But when he did throw, fucking hell, he would connect and he would land. But Izzy was just busier. And those shots at the end of the 1st round, that right hand, that left hook, which was right on the buzzer. Great shots. I mean, Pereira was out on his feet, so that was, big of him to come out in round 2 and then win that round the way that he did. The grappling, it wasn't the best, but still, they're both.
It made it exciting because it was so bad.
well, they're both top of the food chain kickboxers. They're not going to be top of the food chain.
You don't expect them to be black belts.
Yeah, exactly. With the stoppage, there's a conversation about it being an early stoppage. I don't think it was. I know some people have mentioned it. If Mark didn't jump in and stop the fight when he did, a few more shots. And a few more seconds, and he would have been flatlined. And I think actually he did Izzy a favor in that regard. You know what I mean? Because they are going to rematch, one would have thought. That sounds logical. They'll do it again. Dana said he's open for it. Izzy's going to want to do it. Pereira's going to welcome it because now he's beaten him 3 times. And had Izzy have left there unconscious, staring up at the lights, coming around going, where am I? Then the psychological advantage for Pereira would have been even bigger. Do you know what I mean? So, and that fight wasn't going to change anyway.
The aesthetics of it matter too. It really does. Like, the picture that everyone sees is Pereira with his back turned to Izzy and Mark Goddard walking away, and Izzy doing this, upset. That's a way better picture than Izzy flat on his back, Pereira walking away from his dead body. Yeah. That's a bad look. So I agree with you. I thought the stoppage was fair. I don't think the result would have changed. I think he'd have taken a couple more shots and been down, and Pereira's standing over him. So I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, listen, well done to Pereira. I mean, it's amazing. Only is how many fights? Was that his 4th fight in the UFC, and he becomes UFC champion?
Yeah,
I mean, that is crazy. I mean, I can tell you right now because I did a little YouTube video on it before, and I've got all the stats right here. Hold on, where is it? The stats.
See, we're professionals.
We've got stats, brother. He did this in only 371 days, 53 weeks with the promotion. 53 weeks. Took me 10 fucking years, the prick. You just blew out a little bit, Mike. I'm assuming I'm good now, Brian. I've got to get a new microphone. Yeah, listen, a rematch. But we have got to consider this, and I'm not making excuses for Izzy. He was beaten fair and square, and Pereira's had a busy year as well. This is where I'm going with this. Pereira's been quite the workhorse ever since he signed with the promotion. But Izzy, DC said it on air, 20% of the UFC's title fights, Izzy's been a part of since he became the champion. I mean, he has been fighting very, very regular at the highest level. That's exhausting, mentally, physically, flying around the world, press conferences, all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? So if I'm Izzy, I'll say, yeah, I'll do a rematch in 6 months. or 4 or 5 months at least. Let me go and enjoy my spoils. Let me go enjoy my hard work, my millions of dollars in the bank. Go and lie on a beach or do whatever he likes to do to relax. Take some time, forget about fighting, heal up, and get hungry, and then have the rematch. And I'm sure Pereira wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah, I don't think either one of those guys are going to complain about a little break.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you know how it is. You just fight back. Sometimes you just go on these runs where you fight 3-4 times in a year or something, and it's fucking hard. Especially if you got a family, you got some kids, you got whatever you like to do. Everything gets put on the back burner. People were like, "Oh, well, you only fought 4 times." Well, that times that by however many weeks you do in training camp.
Well, exactly.
I do 8-week training camps, 7-week training camps.
And it's not just the training, because when you finish as well, it's still taking over your mind. It's still conscious there. It's at the forefront the whole time. You're watching tape. You're talking to your coaches. You're going on about your diet. You're checking your weight constantly. Do you know what I mean? It occupies your mind 24/7 if you give a shit. Does Izzy have children? I don't know this. Does he have kids?
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't. Right. I've never heard them talk about him. But
yeah, no, me neither. Harrington Bryan. I believe that Antony Smith was the hero at the weekend, got you guys tickets for the fight, and you were all singing his praises. I mean, I've got you tickets for a fight before. You didn't go on social media and big me up, but
I sure did. And then
we 100% did.
No. Forget it. You're all about Antony. Wow.
You just weren't there to take a picture with us, man. But we do appreciate we appreciate you. Definitely appreciate Anthony at the weekend. We had a wristband at one point where they were like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to this section. They're like, no. You're not going to that section.
Said no way.
Oh, yeah? And he's like, oh, right away, sir.
Yeah, the wristbands pissed me off. But Anthony, be honest.
Okay.
How embarrassing were they? What did they do? Did they put their foot in it? Let you down?
I told him.
Out of you?
No, you know what? I told him. I told him where they were going to pick up their wristbands, and I said, "You text this number. This person's going to come out. They go to this entrance. Text this number. They're going to give you a wristband." And then I sent the text, and then I was like, I better send this other text. Best behavior, boys. I did say that. Best behavior. And then I'm just up there schmoing around, being an idiot, watching the fights. I'm like, where in the fuck are these guys at? And they're like glued to the fights the whole time. I mean, they never left that spot. Not that I seen. I'm sure you guys did at some point, but every time I see them, they were just glued to the fights. We had a 6 spot.
Nice. Was it in the ESPN section where there's those seats?
I don't want to toot my own horn or anything. But they were like 10 feet from Stephen A. the whole time.
Oh yeah, the whole time.
Tooting.
I did yell at Mike because he was
toot my own horn.
He was cheering like a pleb, and I'm like, dude, everybody here is in a suit, like writing something down or recording something 10 feet away from me, and Harrington's like, yeah, Mike, go! And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
It's fine though. He's allowed to enjoy himself.
Everybody was very buttoned up there. I was like, we can't be the only ones who people are like, did you see those guys in the ESPN booth?
You can. You just said, listen, we produce the #1 comedy MMA podcast on the goddamn planet. And they go, oh, you're with the BYM crew? Oh, you're fine. They wouldn't have said a damn thing. What was I going to say? Obviously, we've got a lot of fights to talk about. We've also got some non-MMA stuff, but just real quick, Harrington and Bryan, you can lay witness to this. I'm pretty sure, I forget it, but I'm pretty sure that last week, didn't Antony Smith make a bet with me that Dustin Poirier was going to get defeated by Michael Chandler?
I don't think that happened.
Oh, I do.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that. He had him, though. He had him dead to rights for a second.
Well, so did Izzy at the end of round 1, but who won the fucking fight, bro? Who won the fight?
I know. What'd we bet? I don't remember.
We didn't bet, but
okay, dinner's on me on Friday.
No, that's fine. You just got to call me Sensei for the rest of the show.
That's not fucking happening. No way.
Yes, Sensei. No, come on, just call me Sensei for the rest of the show.
No, we're not. No, you know how much shit we're gonna get on social media for that?
Yes, Sensei. Yeah, I only get accused of butting in every 2 seconds and bullying everyone around. If I make you call me Sensei, it'll never end. Harrington, we're gonna go through the fights, but give us a little respite from the mixed martial arts talking for a second. Give us a story, buddy.
Okay. How about this one? Sylvester Stallone says that he was once tricked into taking a movie by the great Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Which was the movie, and how do you do that? How do you trick somebody into filming?
Sly was at the fights. Sly was at the fights.
Right.
I always go down and try to watch the fights next to you guys where you're calling the fights. I thought it was weird though. Like I was in front of the barrier and there was a lot of other really important people pretty close. And they had old Sly stuck behind the barrier in there with the regular people. I like, what are we doing here, Dana? But Dana went straight to him first when he started talking to people. So
yeah,
God damn, it's intimidating seeing him sit there. Like, I just feel like he's gonna jump up and start beating someone's ass or something. I don't know.
No, Sly's the man. I've never actually met him. Sadly, I would love to, but I saw him with Nate Diaz. I saw tons of people. Of course, the camera went.
Yeah, he was right next to Nate,
and the place erupted like crazy.
Yeah.
No,
there's no louder pop in the building than for Mike Tyson, though.
Oh no, I know, because he went to Sly and then he went to Tyson, and it
exploded.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Anyway, sorry, Harrington.
No, you're good, Harrington. So how the fuck do you convince someone to be in a movie and trick him?
So Sylvester Stallone essentially said that at the time they were such big rivals, they couldn't be like in the same universe as each other, right? So Schwarzenegger would go around to all like the big dinner spots and nightclubs and hot spots and tell everybody about how he couldn't wait to make this movie. Stop or my mom will shoot you. He said it's the best script he's ever read. It's going to be, he's going to reinvent his whole career. It's going to be a massive winner for him. Sly Stallone.
Hold on real quick. I haven't seen that movie. Like, I'm a big fan of Sylvester Stallone. Love the Rocky series. But, well, I didn't need to see it. I saw little bits of it. It had that old one from the Golden Girls. You know what I mean? She was with the glasses, right? She was very annoying. I don't even need to say, Anthony, have you seen Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
No, I haven't seen it. But Brian hit me with that a couple times over the weekend. He'd say, "Oh, dude, like that movie," and he'd say, "I'm like, dude, I haven't fucking seen whatever movie you're about to fucking ask me. I haven't seen it."
Anthony
Smith, movies though.
Anthony Smith has never heard the term movie. He doesn't know what a movie is like. What is this phenomenon you speak of? But anyway, so basically, Harrington, we got lots of other shit we could have gone with. So basically, he tricked him into taking a shitty movie.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys. So it was like one of the worst movies of Sylvester Stallone's career. It's still something he says he regrets dealing with now, obviously, by telling the story. What is like the worst thing that's ever happened as a spite thing? You know what I mean? Like he took this to make sure that Schwarzenegger couldn't get it. Have you ever like stumbled into something like that?
Oh, I don't know. But I think on the flip side, though, I think Stallone tricked Schwarzenegger, didn't he, into doing... What was it when he got pregnant? There's one called Junior where Stallone gets pregnant and gives birth. And you haven't seen that either. And I haven't seen that. Fortunately, I don't watch crap movies. But I did, when I was doing that one in Bulgaria just recently, when I went to see the doctor, he was telling me that now they are growing cells inside a male person. They're basically growing babies inside men. Some doctors in Paris are working on this. Wow. So, you never know, Anthony.
Maybe we'll have a baby.
Maybe me and you could have a baby. I'm going to impregnate you. You're sure as hell not impregnating me.
This is equal. I thought this was an equal opportunity employer.
Well, someone's going to take the fucking reins.
Well, I don't want to carry the baby. You carry the baby. I joke all the time.
I volunteer Harrington.
Yeah, we'll get Harrington. Come on, what do you joke about?
I joke with my wife all the time. She's like, well, I carried all them fucking kids. So my joke always is, oh, yeah? You ever had the flu? The man flu? Way worse than pregnancy. That's always my joke. Like
Rebecca hates it because, of course, women, they do talk about giving birth all the time. Mm-hmm. Rebecca's had 3. Your ladies had 4, right? 4? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and listen, when you watch it, it's terrible. But still, as guys, we're not going to give them that credit. So anytime she brings it up, right? She goes, "Oh, you don't understand how hard childbirth was." And she hates this. I said, "Babe, your body is literally designed for this. Do you know what I mean? Your body's designed for it. It's the most natural thing on the earth. You see all these billions and billions of people, they were all given birth to." And I'm telling you, the joke stops. She doesn't like it. She gets so pissed off.
Oh my! I'm gonna use it now.
Yeah,
I'm using that one next time.
What does your lady say? Is she like,
she just,
ooh, we give birth.
Well, the last two, she wasn't, the last one 100% was natural. They didn't have time to give her the epidural or any medicine or anything. And the one before that didn't really work. So, her and her girlfriends would get around. They talk about, some of them have done it natural, some of them haven't. So I'll always butt in and say, I know that you guys think that was tough, but I had a fever one time. And it was the worst, because I'm such a pussy when I'm sick. You would think that I was on my deathbed.
I know. I'll be honest. Sometimes when I'm hungover, I dress it up as a sickness. do you know? That's
I've got a fever.
Oh God, I'm not well, babe. Oh, she doesn't know how much I had to drink the night before. I'm like, oh God, feel really shit. She's like, you're getting sick a lot lately, Michael.
Yeah.
Do we need to call the doctor?
Something going around.
Something going wrong with your immune system. Only kidding, all you believer females out there. You women are the best. All right, real quick, let's just talk about Joy Mode. Joy Mode, well, they make natural and science-backed sexual wellness products for men. The Sexual Performance Booster, it's like a pre-workout but for sex. The Sexual Performance Booster is designed to support erection quality, firmness, and sex drive, which is very good. Listen, a lot of similar products out there, but a lot of these products are full of garbage. You go into a gas station, you don't know what you're getting. Listen, you're going to have side effects. You're going to have heart problems. You're maybe going to have a boner that lasts about 14 days. Always a bit of an inconvenience going around to grandma's house. So that's why you want to use Joy Mode. Joy Mode, why? Well, because it's all natural, okay? Wouldn't you rather take a supplement designed to spice things up naturally rather than a prescription drug that, as I said, can have harmful side effects down the road? You will go to great lengths to biohack your way to a better mental and physical performance. But what about the bedroom? Look, listen, as people are certainly getting older, if you do suffer from ED, erectile dysfunction, then this stuff is for you. All natural products, works like an absolute charm. And of course, we have a tremendous offer for you. Go to, this is the website, usejoymode.com/believe, or just enter believe at the checkout. You will get 20% off your first order. Website is usejoymode.com/believe, 20% off your first order. Don't thank me, thank Joy Mode. Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler.
Hey, before we get too far, do you want to bring this shit down?
What shit?
Real quick.
What shit?
Well, I feel like it'd be shit if we did the whole show and then mentioned Anthony Johnson.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Oh, my God, we do.
Yeah.
We do. We can't just... thank you for reminding me.
I didn't want to talk about a bunch of funny shit and then be like, oh, and then Rumble died. Like,
no. Well, because I said to Harrington, because he was saying these are the silly stories I've got, and I'm like, well, we got so much to talk about. Obviously, there's a lot of shenanigans going on around the fights, people slapping this guy and that guy, and I said, of course, Anthony fucking Johnson. When you text, did you break the news to me? I think it was you. You texted me.
No, I think it was Brian.
Brian. Yeah, sorry, Brian. Yeah. Man, I couldn't believe it. 38 years old, and when you see Anthony Johnson in his prime, my God, what a force of nature. I mean, I'll never forget when he cracked DC when they had that fight, and DC went flying to the other side of the octagon. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was a formidable fighter, one of the best. He didn't win the belt, but he was never in a boring fight. And I didn't know him too well, sadly. But apparently he was the nicest, sweet. I mean, I had conversations, we would sometimes Instagram each other, DM, whatever, but not like, I don't know him nearly as well as I know you. You know what I'm saying? Did you know him?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, just lots of mutual friends.
Yeah.
Tate, the cut man Tate.
Yep.
Was really close with him. Rashad, super close with him. All the guys down there with Henry Hooft and just that whole crew, the whole Black Zillion crew. So he was always so fucking cool to me though. Like super kind. There was a point in time where we were getting close to each other in the rankings a little bit. And had been talked about, potential fights or whatever. And, I'd had him on my radio show a couple times and he was always super forthcoming with his time. And we had talked, then we did that quintet thing together. And that's when we really got some time to hang out. And then we both had done interviews one time with, I don't remember who the reporter, I wish I could, I'd look for it earlier, but I did an interview and then he did an interview and then that reporter showed us like the little snippets of both of our interviews. He was like, I'm not even going to use this because he had asked both of us, like, you're getting close to the rankings, some talk about you and Antony Smith fighting. And he said, yeah, man, I would, but I like that guy. And it doesn't sound like that'd be a lot of fun. And then I had said, man, I really like Rumble. I mean, if I had to, I'd fight him, but goddamn, I wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it was funny. We like kind of said the same thing about each other. Yeah, man, it just sucks. Just super young. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Still had a lot of time left. That sucks.
So it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, right?
Mhm.
I don't know what is that a form of cancer?
It's a form of cancer, I believe. Yeah.
Shit.
And I seen him like a month ago, or maybe a little longer, maybe 2 months ago. And he's, they were really quiet about kind of all the stuff. He was just fighting was having some health issues. That's all you really heard. I hadn't heard it about what it was or how he was doing. I just knew he was really battling something. And I think DC told me over the weekend, actually, he said, Anthony Johnson's really, really struggling with some stuff. He's really having a tough time. And we were in the car together. And I said, man, that sucks. Like, I really like that guy. I hope he gets through it. And then sure as shit, Sunday, 2 days later, then that news breaks. But I do believe it's a form of cancer. I don't know much about it.
No, I don't.
I seen him 2 months ago and he looked terrible. Really skinny. Skinny.
Obviously, on behalf of all the show and all the believers, we all extend our sincere condolences to all his family, friends, loved ones, anyone that met him. And the outpour of support and appreciation for who he was and what a great guy has been beautiful to see.
That's how you want to be remembered, right?
It is, but it's so sad, isn't it? Because, you know what I mean? He was a great guy. And then he passes away. And then there's this outpouring of love. I just wish he could have got to have seen all that before he left us. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost bittersweet. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure he knew. I mean, he was a great guy. I'm sure he knew the support he had. But you know what I mean? It's almost bittersweet. It's like it all happens after they pass away. And
you never get to be present. You never get to be present at your own funeral. That's I don't remember who said that, but
let's start having them while we're alive. Do you know what I mean, guys? I'm going to die one day. So we're just all going to have like a fucking tribute to me now. But
it does. You are right, though. I did think that, like, he'll never get to see all these people, how much he really meant to them and how much they really admired him and how much enjoyment people got out of watching him do what he loves. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
The souls that he touched, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people that he inspired around the world. It's so sad. I was talking about this recently with Rebecca, and it's kind of been like my mindset a little bit. And this only reinforces this. Just lately, it's like you only get one life, you know? 38 years old. I'm sure he thought he was going to live to being an old man. He was an athlete. He took care of himself. 38 years old, passes away. You only get one life, man. You've got to live it. If you something that you're thinking about, go out there and do it. If you fail, so fucking what? Like, for example, I work my ass off all the time. And it was when I was away in Bulgaria, I was thinking about this a lot. And I said, listen, let's go back to England at Christmas. Let's go see my mom. Let's go do this. Let's make memories. Never mind what it's going to cost. Never mind the money. Fortunately, I'm in a position where I've done okay, so we can afford stuff. Never mind, you only get one life. What are we going to do? Can't take it with us. You know what I mean? Let's go and enjoy ourselves. Let's make memories, while we're still on this goddamn planet. And there's a lot of religious people out there, and I respect their beliefs. My belief is that you get one crack at this, and then when you're done, you're done. I hope I'm wrong. And I hope Antony Smith is up there. Anthony Smith, sorry, pardon me. Anthony Johnson. Yeah, Jesus, bro. Anthony Johnson's up there smiling down at us and can see all the outpour. Man. Awful.
I think it's crazy you say that you've been kind of doing that lately, because I've been kind of doing something very similar where, like, you brought up the Christmas thing going back to England. Just a couple weeks ago, me and my wife were sitting around and normally we do Christmas here. We cook and whatever and have a couple family members over. But, like, I don't really got that much family left. So,
yeah.
She was like, why don't we just go to Texas and see all your dad's family that you don't get to see very often there? She's like, why don't we just get a big ass Airbnb? We'll make sure it's one where we can have all the family over, and we'll just get the entire side of the family over. Like, holy shit. Yeah, let's do that. Like, so it's a very similar mindset. Like, fuck it, let's just go. I
hate you because you're going to Texas and there will be a lot of big Airbnbs. We're not going because Clitheroe, where I'm from, is tiny. And there is a few Airbnbs. There's quite a lot, actually. In fact, it's surprising, but they're all booked up. They're all taken. So there's nowhere to stay. And my mum lives in a little tiny place. And the idea was we were going to get an Airbnb. You know, we were going to go out for Christmas dinner together. We could have my mother over. We could all sit there. And that's all part of the fun. It's not quite the same sitting in some like little dinky hotel rooms in Clitheroe. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So we're going to go another time. Anyway, of course, once again, sincere condolences to all his family. You should be calling me sensei though after what went down, after what transpired.
I know
in that fight. I mean, that fight was just unbelievable. Michael Chandler always delivers. Poirier does. The hype was there. We thought we were going to get another fight of the year contender. That's exactly what we got. Michael Chandler came out of there like an absolute bat out of hell, throwing everything but the kitchen sink, 3 or 4 body kicks in quick succession, swinging like a maniac, connecting like a maniac, bouncing Dustin Poirier's head all over the place. And I thought, oh my God, he's going to get Dustin out of there in 1 round. Dustin cannot continue to take these type of shots, you know, because he was connecting with frequency and they were heavy shots. But Dustin, being the G that he is, turns it all around at the end of the first round. And I'm like, oh my God, talk about a complete 180. Almost finishes it. Massive elbow. I mean, what was the atmosphere like in that place as that was going down?
Oh, the atmosphere was fucking crazy. The building was on fire. The roof was about to come off of the building. I'm so glad that I always went down and like I sit next to the cage. And it's not because I'm trying to be the cool guy that wants to sit with all the famous people. I need to be close so I can feel what's going on, right?
You're trying to steal my job is what you're doing. You're getting your feet under the rug. You're like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, this is easy. I could see this internal battle going on in Michael Chandler. I understand him more now. Before I never understood. Like I never seen it like really close. I've been in the arenas when he's fought. I've been in the building before, but never right there next to the cage. He cannot help himself. He wants to either be like what's the battle here? Do you want to be an entertainer or do you want to win? And he can't do both. Like he can't. So he's swinging for the fences, and you wish you could have seen his team begging him to stick to the game, really? Begging him to stick to the game plan. Like he can't help himself. It's just who he is. So then his coaches keep saying, go get me one, go get me one. And they're talking about takedowns. So then he gets a takedown, essentially undefended, like it was easy. And then wins
the entire round as well.
And then wins the round. And I mean, they're pleading with him, like, just go get another takedown so we can get this win. And you know, credit to Dustin for defending that. He did. Like the first round went off the rails because that's not what they wanted. That his team didn't want that at all. They wanted him to do exactly what he did in the second round. He can't help himself. He's trying. You can see the internal battle. He's feinting takedowns and he's looking and he's trying to be mobile. He's trying to pick at little shots and he cannot help himself. He just has to start throwing for the fucking fences because deep down in his soul, that's who he is.
Well, that is who he is, and he loves to fight like that, and time again he does. But he was trying to take him down, and in the third round he did try, and he managed to get in on the leg once or twice, but Dustin had great takedown defense. And that's
what I mean. Credit to Dustin for the third round. That's all him because Michael stuck to the game plan in the third.
Well, yeah, because he did get it, because he picked him up right up high in the air, expelled a lot of energy, and then it was kind of, you know, when you take him up there and you tumble down and you land like that, it's kind of a scramble situation. Poirier was a little faster, nimble, agile, whatever you want to call it. Maybe he landed in a more advantageous position. But the way that he wrapped his legs around the body triangle,
so fast.
Oh, it was
I missed it. I was right there. It was so fast. He didn't go hooks. He didn't go 2 hooks in, then move to the body triangle. It was like in the transition, he slapped that body triangle on. It was fast.
That's the only time Michael Chandler's going to regret having such an impressive six-pack, because he was so ripped. Do you know what I mean? He could just fucking put his leg around there, no problem. A lot of the time, if he was a little chunkier, a little fatter, it would have been harder for Poirier. He would have to put one around, grab it with his leg, his arm, pull it in, cinch it over. So one time having that six-pack fucked him up. And then
the power that it takes for someone to pick up another person like that, I think gets missed sometimes. It even gets missed on TV. I think it gets missed if you're a little further back in the rows. But watching him, the way he had just the one leg, like if you just think about the mechanics, when you're lifting someone's body up by just a single leg, all they kind of have to do is lean one way, and they're almost impossible to pick up. So like watching him have his arms all the way stretched out, like on a single, and then just Hulkamania his way to pick him up over his head. I like when he was starting to lift, it's like, no fucking way he gets that. And then like Dustin Poirier just started. I was like, holy shit, what a monster.
Oh, look, yeah. I mean, that takes a lot of energy. I mean, it really does. If you want, I can get Lucas to demonstrate. You know, we know he's great at it. That's why I was laughing when you were saying, I'm like, I'll get Lucas. Lucas! I won't, fuck that. His back's still probably broken from last week's escapade. You know, it's a shame for Chandler because number one, how can you not like the guy? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's so likable. You know, he's so marketable. Fights his ass off. But the reality is, yeah, you want to be a part of exciting fights and you want to be known for being in exciting fights. I think all fighters want that. But ultimately, you've got to win. That is what will be shown in the record
every
box.
Once in a while.
Because that will define your legacy. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be a part like Mike Perry. Mike Perry was never in boring fights. Mike Perry was a crazy motherfucker. Yeah, and he would show up every time, but he wouldn't win fights. And eventually he got cut from the organization. Now he's bare knuckle boxing. And shout out Mike Perry. Wish him all the best. I like Mike. But you know what I mean? Being in exciting fights is great. But if you're not getting the victories, it takes away from that. Of course, we're there to win. You know, he's only won 2 and he's lost 3 now in 5 fights. Granted, no shame. Fight with Dustin Poirier, fight of the year contender. Gagey, fight of the year. Charles Oliveira, almost had him out of there. Amazing fight. Probably got fight of the night. You know what I mean? Right. And then he beat the other 2, Hooker and Tony. But yeah, it's a tough spot. But Dana said he loves him. I mean, there's no way he's going to get cut or anything like that because he's one of the guys right now. If you put Chandler on a card, you know what you're going to get.
You know exactly what you're getting.
And same with Poirier.
Just watching his, I don't know, watching his face. He's a really nice guy. Like I don't think, and it's not fake. That's just who he is. But when he's in there, it's different. Like just the look on his face. He's bleeding out every hole in his face. You know, snorting blood all over the place. Like he's fucked up.
Well, Poirier said
third round's about to start. He's got a smirk on his face, and he's winking at Poirier. Like Poirier was like, you could tell like Poirier wasn't super comfortable. He wasn't having a great time. And I look over at like I'm looking up at Poirier. He's not enjoying himself that much. And I look over at Chandler, and he could not. There was no other place in the world he wanted to be. And I remember thinking, there's something wrong with that fucking guy.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling. Have you been there where you're fighting a guy, you're hitting him with your best shots. You are cracking him. You're finding the mark. You've got your rhythm. You're ahead. You're connected rapidly in quick succession. But the motherfucker's still coming. The motherfucker's dripping blood everywhere, but he's smiling at you. You're like, oh my God, this guy's a goddamn psycho. Jesus Christ. Why won't you just go away? I mean, that is a scary prospect.
Yeah, that's a terrible place to be.
But Poirier said he's a dirty motherfucker at the post-fight press conference. Apparently, he was trying to fish hook him, you know, to get the choke in.
He was. That was right in front of me.
Oh, I never saw it.
It didn't look like it was on purpose, though, if I'm being honest. I'm sure to Poirier, it probably feels like it was definitely on purpose. It didn't look like it was malicious. It looked like Chandler had his back, and he had one arm around his neck, and he couldn't get the chin up. So it looked like he was going to come across his face and grab his face, almost like maybe grabbing his chin, but he was like a little high. So it kind of looked like this, and he was going to pull it across. And it looked like as he was pulling it, his fingers went into Poirier's mouth because his mouth was open because he was trying to tuck his chin.
Oh, yeah, there it is right there.
Yeah.
You know, I could sit here and talk about this all day long, but we've literally got so many other things to talk about.
I know. My bad. I'll stop.
No. I'm not saying you. I mean, we've both been chatting away for a while. We've got all the rest of the card. We've got all the stuff that happened at the weekend. We've got loads of breaking news. We've got Tyson Fury's dad ripping his shirt off going after Jake Paul. We've got Tyron Woodley going after KSI. We've got Dylan Dennis getting slapped off Nate Diaz with my manager Audiatar playing the guy trying to break it all up. We've got the Darren Till interview. We've got a lot. We've got a lot. Where should we go to next? Harrington, come on. You've already been on today. Let's see you, buddy. Let's see you.
And it's been a great show. Why are we ruining it?
We're not
Sorry for taking up all your airtime.
We're not ruining anything.
I apologize.
The fans like it a lot more.
What was going on with Nate Diaz? Do we have the video for this? Nate Diaz and Dylan Dennis. My God.
Yeah, we certainly do. So it seems like there was some kind of a scuffle in there. Audie himself was in the middle of it, stopping stopping the two from getting close to each other. One of the guys in Dennis's crew got a little too close to Nate, and
everyone thinks I'm talking crap about Diaz. Here we go. Let's have a look. No sound, bro.
Look at Nate.
There's Audie dragging back Bilbo.
Why is he out there?
Well, he manages him. So shit.
Well, I know, but he doesn't need to be out there. He's probably wearing a $10,000 jacket.
Yeah, no, he probably is. But, he manages him. And Audie's like that. Audie's hands-on. He's been hands-on with me a few times. When I was in New York once, years and years and years ago, it's still going on. No, Audie's a great manager. He cares. Should I get Dylan Dennis on the show? Because,
yes.
Do you reckon?
Yes.
Because when I do lives on YouTube, he comes on and he fucking just donates super chats like $5 and says this and says that. Says, Mike, let's get together. Let's do this. Let's do that. And we all roast him. Everyone talks shit about him in the comments and whatnot. But God bless him. He comes on and my wife will be on with me and he'll blow kisses at her or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
And we should definitely get him on.
I must admit, he endeared me a little bit. Last time he came on, he was all right. He was being funny. He was making fun. He was taking the piss, but it was all in good nature. Do you know what I mean? So maybe we get him on and find out what went on with Nate Diaz. But last year, Madison Square Garden, he got slapped off Ali Abdelaziz. This year, Madison Square Garden gets slapped off Nate Diaz or his boy. It's not going well for Dylan.
It's not. You know what you never hear about with Nate Diaz though? And this is probably going to go bad, but
this is going to get twisted.
Yes, it is.
I'm actually fighting someone.
No. Well, yeah. Okay. So he's always somewhere and there's always a Nate Diaz scuffle. There's always something going on. There's always a mess. You never hear of anybody actually getting hurt. Yeah. Like it's a bunch of Nate Diaz scuffles, a bunch of fights. You never hear about no one with a broken nose, no black eyes, no hospital visits, no stitches.
No police involved.
No, never. No police. Like how do you guys get in so many fights with your whole crew and nobody gets hurt?
Blink at somebody with one eye and I get arrested.
Right. Or I'm getting sued.
Yeah.
Constant. I just don't understand. Like, how do you guys either A, get so lucky, or B, if me and you were in that scuffle, just the two of us by ourselves versus 10 people, somebody's going to the hospital.
Oh,
why? How is it Nate Diaz 47 people versus 35 people of someone else's? Nobody gets hurt.
Well, he had it at the Kamzat press conference as well. The last was it 279. They had to cancel the press conference once again. And by the way, in the Darren Till interview, he shed some light on that because he was there. So I asked him about it. But yeah, you're right. Because it never kicks off. I mean, imagine. I know we won't say Nate Diaz because then it's going to get twisted that you say you would do this to Nate Diaz. Right. But let's just say another professional fighter that was a welterweight or a lightweight walked over, was talking a bit of shit with his crew and slapped you in the face, Antony.
Nah. The police are coming. The police are coming.
Why? To pick his unconscious body up off the floor?
I'll just buzzsaw through whoever's in front of me till I get there, or till there's a lot more people that can hold me. Like, that's what I don't get. Like, I guess I get why you said somebody else, because I was about to say
no, for sure, because that would be the headline,
right? If another fighter or someone in his crew slap me, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. I'm gonna go crazy. It's gonna be everywhere because I'm gonna go absolutely nuts.
What if, as we saw there, he threw a drink over like your wife and kids first, and then slapped you? Said person, not Nate Diaz. What would you do then? I mean, that's even worse.
I would throw the nearest person that's to me at him. Like, I'm gonna go crazy. That's what I don't understand. Like, why do all these people just let Nate and all these other folks slap the shit out of him all the time.
Harrington, you were trying to come on a second ago. What were you going to say, buddy?
So I wanted to clear up the record a little bit from the way you guys are talking the subject. So it was someone in Dylan's crew.
No, we know that. We know that.
Right.
You're interrupting the conversation with points that don't need to be made. And
I was going to ask.
Guys, a little bit of housekeeping here. So it's not exactly what happened. No, we know that, but we're having the conversation's escalated. It's moved on. You know what I mean? It's evolved. We're just saying, what if? I've seen the video. I've seen it 50 times. I've seen that it wasn't. It was a buddy of Nate's. Go on, Harrington. Go on.
So I was going to ask, right? Since it was one of Dylan's boys, if that person was to come up and just slap me while we were hanging out, how does that end, Anthony? Because that's a more similar hypothetical.
But we're still fighting. Like,
yeah. You defend my honor?
None of my, like, if I'm with a bunch of my friends or anybody that's like with me, it always seems like Nate or who, like people in his crew, they want to start to get into a fight, and it's like people are holding back. And none of my friends are holding me back. We're going in behind me. Like,
there's a lot of holding back.
There is.
There's a lot of like if I was legit trying to fight, I don't these days. Me
either. I'm too old for that shit. But I would if I had to. Face
on Bourbon Street in New Orleans with my kids, laughed and walked away. I'm just in control of my emotions these days. Right. But if I flipped and I was trying to get at someone, they would not be able to stop me. Just a couple of little arms out you can't see here. Just guys, no. I'm like, get the fuck off me. Do you know what I mean? There's always.
And if me and you were out and you started going in, I'm just going in with you.
100%.
I'm just going with you.
I guess this is what's happening.
This is what Let's go. Guys, there's not going to be a show on Monday.
Guys. No. And then they're like, oh, but like, I really want to get at him. But you've got your arm out. I can't get past the arm.
Yeah, there's no show on Monday because Anthony and Michael's wives they're fucking grounded.
Yeah.
They're in trouble.
But we're getting divorced and we're currently still locked up trying to make bail. Jesus Christ. I'm glad I didn't come to New York. My God. My God. All right. So 282. Carla Esparza, Zhang Weili. Don't think, with respect to Carla, there was too many surprises there. I thought the way that Zhang Weili, when she landed that body kick, fair play to Carla. She was very successful in turning it into a takedown. But the way Zhang was getting taken down, and then at that moment in time, it was almost as good as when Dustin took the body triangle. As she was getting taken down, she turns it into taking the back. You know what I mean?
It happened twice, too.
It happened twice. Yeah. I mean, that was some impressive shit.
She got a little in the beginning. She rushed it. I didn't look at it as her making a mistake, though. She had absolutely just the body language in both of those two women was different. Like, one of them knew she was leaving with the belt, and the other one knew she wasn't. And it wasn't so it wasn't the way it was supposed to be, if you're the champion. So it wasn't like she made a mistake. It was almost that she didn't respect her enough to take her time. So she got to her back the first time and she just rushed it. Like, she was throwing punches. She didn't give a shit about the positional stuff. She didn't solidify the position first. She was just going crazy with the punches. Carla kind of scrambled and got back to her feet and got away. So you'd almost seen this like look on Zhang's face when they got back to her feet and they started fighting again on the feet. It was almost like annoyed, like, all right, I guess I gotta watch my P's and Q's, I guess, like almost annoyed, like, I probably shouldn't have done that. And then by the time it happened again, she took her the back transition was fast.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a move. And I hate to say it like that because I don't want to disrespect Carla, because again, I have a lot of respect for her. She's a 2-time champion. That's hard to do. I haven't even done it once. So I can't talk any shit about her, but
of course. And by the way, you're not. And don't want to go off on a big tangent. We're always just giving opinions. Unless you say, oh, that person sucks, which we never do. Of course, we have to celebrate the person that wins and what they did good. And the people that lose, maybe we critique their performances. I don't think, certainly you don't ever step over the line to where that becomes disrespectful. In sports, that's what you got to go through. You do. You do a great job.
Really hard. But it's harder with Carla. Because I don't want to be the guy that's picking on the female champion. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the move that she got submitted with, not an actual move. She's just physically stronger. She trapped an arm and squeezed her neck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it looked to me like if Carla would have tried a little harder, she could have at least got out of that position. Now, would have led to being in a better position? I don't know. Unlikely. But the tap looked pretty fast. I think she just was beaten. You know what I mean? I think mentally, she could tell she was just in a bad way. She was in a bad way.
I mean, because she was in on one takedown, I remember it, and Zhang kind of touched the floor, the mats with her other butt cheek, but then she just sprawled it back while Carla still had one of the, you know, the bit I'm talking about, and it was so athletic. The way she just went, fuck this, no, I'm not accepting this takedown. Sprawled back with the other leg, got the whizzer, and then perfectly defended. I mean, Zhang Weili's something special. Any other thoughts or musings on the fight card before we throw to Darren Till? Because Darren talks about it. Obviously, you know, he wants to fight Pereira or Adesanya one day down the line. So we asked him all about that. But Harrington, Brian, anything else before we move on? Because we'll have Darren on, and then we've got a lot of breaking news and stuff like that to talk about. Obviously, questions and shit. Anything else on 281? I mean, there was great prelims. We
have Dan Hooker getting back in the win column.
Yeah, no, for sure. Dan, and you know, and tell me what you think about this. Claudio Poirier. It was one of those styles mate fights. Dan's the striker, he's the grappler. But you've got to have a plan B. You cannot continue to Iminari roll constantly. When the crowd are booing, when the referee's making you stand up repeatedly. Number one, it's kind of soul destroying. It's mortifying as a fighter. It's a little embarrassing. I'm not talking shit about Claudio Poirier. I like the guy. I see him sometimes at the Apex. He's a very, very nice guy. He's a great fighter, but he needs the striking to catch up with the grappling, because it's like Ryan Hall. Remember, you know, Ryan Hall always had the same approach, and there's been other guys as well, but they're the two that really spring to mind right now. You can't do that in this modern day and age.
No, and I was very critical of him on the post show. It might be one of the single worst UFC performances I've ever seen, because there was no plan B. There was no plan B. And maybe it's because I was there in the arena, so I seen the disgust of the crowd.
Well, exactly.
The crowd was upset. They were not happy. His team wasn't happy. Like, they were just begging him to actually strike. He's rolling. The takedowns were shit. He didn't even attempt to strike. He's got to shore up that part of his game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Obviously, we had some great prelims. Historic night for first round finishes as well. 7 of those happened. Bolin McCann, did he get the job done? Ryan Spann knocked out Dominic Reyes. What do you think? Come on, that's your division. Anthony, talk to me, buddy. Talk to me.
The fight was great. You know, I seen a couple flashes of like that old Ryan Spann where he wanted to freak out, but he looked good. You know, it's a rank where you want a win over Dominic Reyes these days. You know, I don't want to shit on Dominic. He's had a really rough run. Him and I don't necessarily get along. This would be a perfect opportunity for me to make fun of him, but I don't want anyone's career to be over. I don't want anyone losing their job. I don't want any of that stuff. So
yeah,
he needs to figure something out. I don't know what that is. Ryan Spann. Oh man, he's trying to decide which way we go here.
Oh, come on. Here's what's going on in your mind right now. In your mind, you're like, do I keep it super professional? Do I big up his performance? Do I keep it nice, or do I just go full secret Antony Smith, the psycho Antony Smith, which has been coming out more and more on the show? We love it. I don't know if you've realized, the more you relax, the more you're yourself, the more you talk about your dad getting shot in the ass, the more shit you talk, the better numbers we're going to do.
Okay,
So,
I'll just be honest. I'll tell you what I told my friends. They text me and they're talking about some call out, right? I heard it a little bit in the cage. Like, he said, I want top 5, but I don't want 2, 3, and 4. So essentially, I'm 5. Okay, I'm 5. So he goes to the post fight. Hold on.
Oh, here we go. Nice work, Brian.
You're one of the best light heavyweights in the world.
Oh, we back at the gym Monday. Look, I want top 5, and I don't want 4, 3, or 2.
I love it. Congratulations, sir. Ryan.
So he wants 5.
He wants 5 because 1's already matched with the champion. So,
and he knows damn well who 5 is.
He knows exactly who 5 is. He wouldn't even look at me because I was sitting right there. He had to walk right by me to get out of the octagon. So, and his coach acknowledged me. I gave him a head nod, kind of like a not bad, right? Not bad. So then he does that bullshit post-fight interview, whatever. Then he goes to the press conference, says essentially the same thing. Then people are like, well, that only leaves Antony Smith. And he was like, can you count? Like kind of being a dickhead, you know? Here's my response.
Let's go.
I understand that Ryan Spann has beaten who's he beaten since I beat him. So I think he beat Cutelaba. I think he beat Johnny Walker. I think Cutelaba was coming off a loss. I think Johnny Walker was coming off a loss. And then he knocks out
Reyes.
The dead body that used to have Dominic Reyes in it.
The ghost of Dominic Reyes.
Yeah, he beat the ghost of Dominic Reyes. So Reyes is having some problems. You were the 4th person in the row to beat him. I get it. You're feeling yourself and you feel good. I don't know what happened in our fight that left him with any confidence that he thinks he can still beat me or that he deserves a rematch. I had him on ice skates till he was shooting takedowns. I strangled him and then stood over his body, reminding him what he said he was going to do to me. So he's my bitch forever, and he knows it.
Oh,
and if he eventually he may work himself into a situation where we're going to rematch, but I already fought down when I gave him an opportunity. So like, until he does something where I go, oh wow, that was super impressive, he can fuck off. I don't know why. Like him being an asshole didn't work out for him the last time.
Just for clarification, and that was Ryan Spann is your bitch for life.
For life. For life. And then, not to mention, he went back in his hotel room and sat there with the UFC with a camera in his face crying about how it made him feel. Like he barely handled the first loss. What's he going to do with the second?
I called that fight, and I talk about this a lot. I mean, that night you were a scary man that night. You were like a man possessed. You came out of the gate so hot. Do you know what I mean? You were
angry.
You were angry. You were angry as hell. And sometimes that can hold people back. But man, you went right through him. It was shocking.
I got a lot of respect for his coach, though. So I sometimes pause to not be honest what I think about Ryan Spann.
Who's his coach again?
Safe.
Oh, I love Safe.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's a fantastic guy. I think he's a great coach. I like a lot of his teammates.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know why, like what his problem with me is. Like we had the problem before. We hashed it out in the octagon. I kind of had a freak out moment. I thought we hashed it out after that. And then here we go again. Like, fine, I guess. Like, whatever.
Well, you have a fight coming up that's yet to be announced, but you know, you never know. You never know. All right, let's just hear from Sheath Underwear. If you've listened to this show for a long time, then you'll know Sheath. They sponsored us for a long time, and it's nice to have them back. Sheath Underwear, basically, they make the most comfortable, the most stylish, and the most practical underwear that I've ever worn. Great for working out. They've got all kinds of different styles. The fabric feels great. They have the modal, the bamboo, or the mesh, and even cotton now. And it is higher quality than anything that I've worn in the past. The Sheath Underwear, trust me, they've sent me so many, and I'll never have to buy underwear for as long as I live. But you right now listening to this, you need underwear. You do. You know it. You go to the drawer every day. You pick it up. They're washed. They're dirty. They're falling apart at the seams. They might have a few stains on. You need to upgrade your underwear. You want the best. You want the coolest. You want to support our show. You need to go to sheathunderwear.com right now for the sale of the year on everything from men's underwear, base layers, women's wear, winter warmers, and more. Listen, Sheath Underwear is made from high quality materials and will be the most comfortable underwear you have ever worn. So sheathunderwear.com. That is the website. They are having the sale of the year with Black Friday sales. Okay, so from Thanksgiving through to Cyber Monday, you can load up on your underwear at sheathunderwear.com. No promo code needed, but please tell them that we sent you there. You won't be disappointed. They truly are game changers. All right, lots of other stuff to talk about. Me and Antony Smith are going to go through a ton of hilarious stuff and some very interesting stuff. We're going to answer your questions, but right now we're going to throw to Darren Till and hear his thoughts on UFC 281 and what he's got coming up next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Darren Till. Darren, I got to say, there's only one person I would get out of bed at 6 a.m. for to interview. Oh,
yes.
God. Ah, you prick. Darren's in Thailand. Where are you? Go on.
Give me me judo. I'm always on time when I say I do it, and that though, innit, son?
Hey, to be fair, on the absolute dot. Where are you, Phuket?
Phuket, yeah. Geelong, Phuket.
Geelong. How are you doing down there? Are you chilling in Geelong?
I'm chilling. Life's good. A little pool in front of me and that, mate.
Oh.
Me with the crew. Brent's just left for New York to fight for the Millie. So that's good. You know, I'm here in the thick of it with all the Russians, fucking, you know, on smoke every day. So, yeah, good things, mate.
Yeah, obviously, we're what now, like a month or so out from your fight. Yeah. We'll get to that stuff later. But training out in Thailand, how's that been for you?
Very good, Mike. I haven't... hasn't been a lot of pressure on me. I've just just been doing my thing. I've cut down. I got, to be honest, mate, I arrived in Thailand at 105 kilo. I'm 91 kilo right now. I'm probably in like the best shape I've ever been at middleweight. And so I just feel good, mate. I feel really good. I feel revitalized.
What is the gym?
I've been training at like 2 or 3 gyms: Tiger, Muay Thai, Bang Tao, and 1 or 2 others, but main gyms have been Tiger and Bang Tao.
Do they start every training session with like a slow run for about half an hour? That's what they used to do when I was there.
No, that's traditional Muay Thai. Like, Tiger's sort of like groups of like stuff that happens. So like groups of spar, and you know, you'll pick your spar and what you want and what you need, and you know, there's a boxing coach there, John Boy, he's very good there, Anatoly Petryan, Rafael Fiziev, Arman, a load of other like Dagestanis and Chechens and all guys from Russia training and all over the world really. And then Bang Tao's more like you've got some great coaches there, Frank Hickman and George Hickman, Woody, strength and conditioning coach. They've got a great facility. And then we've been going to track on Wednesdays doing a lot of track work. So yeah, but the heat out here, I don't know if it's like a figment of my imagination, but like you get tired. So even like I'm fit right now, I'm in shape, but still getting tired in like the 5th and 6th round in like sparring and stuff. So I just think it's the heat as a whole. I think you just get tired no matter how fit you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Food is absolutely tremendous. You can eat so clean out here. That's probably been one of my.
What are you having for breakfast? Are you smashing like a traditional Thai breakfast, like a little bit of rice and an egg on it, and like a chicken satay, or are we going in for Western style protein shakes with berries and stuff?
No, every morning's fasted. No matter what I do, I fast.
Yeah,
and then I'll have me oats. So I'll have oats with peanut butter, yogurt, that whole shebang, and then 2 other meals. You know how it is, Mike.
You know how it is.
Little bit of chocolate on the side.
Yeah. mate, I'm starting a diet today. You might have noticed my cheeks are a little puffy right now because I did that movie. I was out there for a while and I was very disciplined, and I've come back and I'm like, well, I'm having some time off, but now I'm like, holy shit, the cheeks are getting full. Go on, what?
It was only a little small movie though, weren't it?
Hey, solid budget, theatrical release. Is Hamza out there with you, or has he been there?
No, he's been in Russia since after his fight. So I think he's been buying a house for his family and that there, which is nice. And then I know he was going to Dubai. I think it was like some business house in Dubai, and then he was saying to me he's going to meet me in Vegas and stuff like that. So, you know.
Okay. Well, we'll get to your fight in a little bit. Obviously, we haven't spoken for ages, Darren. You're all big time now, and
I haven't to be honest, I haven't spoke to anyone.
Yeah. Obviously, you were there at the Nate Diaz Hamzat fight when they were supposed to fight. What happened that week? Obviously, we know Hamzat missed weight, but that big kickoff with Diaz and apparently Hamzat, I wasn't there. They cancelled the press conference. Do you mind shedding a little bit of light for myself and the believers?
Of course, and you know it's the truth coming from me, Mike. You know I'm a very honest guy.
You would never lie.
No,
not a Scouser. Scousers don't lie. Come on.
Only to the police, only to the bacons. So basically, fucking hell, my memory's gone a bit blank now because so much shit happened. But I don't think the press conference, what happened backstage, was really warranted to maybe cancel it. Because what happened was, so obviously, NATO was in a big team and we had a big team. Me, Kamzat, his manager Magdi, Gurum, the cameraman, and his coach Andreas, we were all backstage. So then, as you're waiting to go out and do the whatever it's the weigh-ins things, Nate hadn't arrived and Kevin Holland was there, but everything was okay. So then security come up to us and like, listen, Kamzat can only stay back here on his own. You just go to the front of like where everyone's watching the weigh-ins and that. And at first I was like, no, because if he's going to be on his own, he's like, no, we're doing this with everyone. I was like, okay, fair dues. So then we went to the front and we just sat there. Nate's team are over the other side. And then, so then that was it then. Then once I've heard there's been like a bit of kickoffs and that. I've half like jumped the barrier and gone through back at the curtains, and Kamzat's been over like one side. Dana and that were walking over to him. I didn't see Kevin Holland, and I'd seen like Nate Diaz, a team walking out the other side's like tunnel bit. So then I was like, what's happening? And it's like, obviously with the video, he's like, him and Kevin have been talking shit, haven't they? And then little things happen there. And then I think just a little thing. I think what you see on videos is what you got. I don't think it was more other stuff like in the hotel and shit. A few things happened there, and obviously me and Kevin got into it. And then like one of the security or someone said like Nate Diaz's team was outside the hotel. So I remember like I was running the arm with some of the guys, like obviously because we didn't know if they were coming here for Kamzat's room or whatever, do you know what I mean? So then I never left Kamzat's side after that bit, like, weigh-ins after the fight and everything. They were trying to cart us off, and I was like, nah. I was like, I don't trust. Like, I trust Steve's security and that, but I was like, nah. You've left them alone one time. I'm not doing it again. So, that was it really in a nutshell.
Right. So you didn't come face to face with Nate Diaz or nothing like that. There's no juicy gossip. Basically, what we know is what we saw, and Darren's lips are sealed, and he's not spilling the beans, and he's not giving us the good stuff.
I would,
right? Whatever, mate. Oh good. Keep your cards.
I love a bit of murder.
Play your cards close to your chest. Sorry, I'm not in your gang anymore. You won't divulge the fucking secrets. All right. Oh good.
I seen a tweet that I got knocked out backstage. What the fuck was that?
Oh shit! Yeah. No, I saw that. Did you get knocked out, Darren? You little bitch.
Come on.
Oh shit.
So nothing really happened with that, mate. Nothing to tell really. Wasn't that interesting.
Yeah, sure.
But then
all right
then. Dramas.
Oh good, mate. Oh good. Well, I'm going to see you out in Vegas. I'm going to be interviewing you for BT Sport a few days before your big fight, you, Paddy, the main event and whatnot. So I'll be seeing you and the guys. So Dricus du Plessis, is that how we say it?
Yes.
What are we saying? How do you break this guy down? How do you assess him?
So I'll assess him and then I'll assess me. I think he's strong. He looks strong. He does a lot of strength and conditioning. So that's one point. He's very motivated. This is the biggest fight of his life. So he's obviously training really hard. Yeah. That's another point. He seems like he knows what he wants and who he is. Another point. But he's quite reckless. He bounces in and out a lot. I don't know what I think his game plan for me is going to be, but I don't want to divulge too much, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm from my point of view. I just think that I'll be quicker on the feet and lighter than him. I think I can, really punish him in there. Landing jabs on the nose, making him. I don't know. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah. No.
I want to keep my cards close to my chest.
No, of course. Just like our conversations, keep your cards close to your chest. Obviously, Darren, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, coming into this one, are you feeling any extra pressure, or is it just another fight week or another fight?
I don't know. If you don't cut no corners and you give it 110% and you're true to yourself, there's nothing more you can do, mate. So that's it. I said to the UFC, I said, I don't want another main event. I said, I'm sick of doing 5 rounds. I just want to get back on my feet. And that's what's came. So, It is what it is, mate.
Yeah, but you're right though, because people don't realize fighting 5 rounds is one thing. It's the training for 5 rounds and the toll that takes on your body and mentally. As we know, going into Brunson, you had a bust up knee. How's the leg now? All good?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I've obviously had a year to refine it, so yeah, we're all good.
Okay, all right, man. A few words again today, Darren. This is not the normal energy. 10 past 10 at night. 10 past. It's 7 a.m. for me. I've got more energy than you. Jesus Christ, where are you right now? Are you in your 5-star accommodation provided by the gym, or who's next? Is Christian floating about? Who's in the? What's the extended entourage? Who've you got peeling your grapes?
How'd you turn this round?
You pushed a little button. It'll have a flip sign. I reckon like 2 arrows going opposite ways. And it'll flip.
No, it's not.
Here we go. Oh, Darren's technical issues. You're doing this is what Antony Smith does at the start of every podcast, to be fair. So don't worry.
You'd have to mess with the settings.
Oh, look at this. Palatial.
We are living like.
And
we're living.
God. When I was younger, I mean, look at that block acid in the house. What's going on with the block acid team? What's the latest?
The latest is newest champion on the roster, Alex Pereira. Very happy for that. Not happy for the way he lost. Feel like it's a bit of a nit in his bud, losing 3 times to the same person.
Yeah.
And he was winning on the scorecards. He really was winning. Sorry, on my scorecards.
Yeah. Well, everyone's scorecards. It was 3-1 going into the 5th, definitely.
Yeah. So, Block Asset signed Alex Pereira, one of the best deals. So now, look at the Block Asset roster. You've got Khamzat Chimaev, me, Darren Till, Alex Pereira. So it's growing, and
I don't even get a mention. Jeez, wow.
Because you're different, though, mate. You're different. Come on. You're not an athlete, and you're the legends. You're the legends, brother. You're different.
AKA old retired bastards with one eye and no knees.
I was looking at our photos from the other day that I still can't believe. Like, I've fought in MSG and you haven't. Obviously, we can both have a thing about that. But the fact that, like, you was on Times Square, like, so many things that have been on Times Square, and it's like you were just there among, like, Muhammad. I don't think you actually realise, do you? Or do you?Maybe you do.
Of course I do. Of course I do. No, it still tickles me to this day. Yeah, but it's old hat for me, Darren. I was on billboards in Times Square in 2008, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's like eventually you just kind of get used to these things. But anyway, enough about me. I want to talk about Adesanya at the weekend. What did you think of the fight? Obviously, Adesanya was landing the better shots. He was the more precise striker. Pereira wasn't very busy. But what did you make of his performance in general? Because when he let the hands go, he was threatening, he was landing, but he was he'd close the distance, he'd get in striking range, but he wasn't throwing too much. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree, Mike. I'm going to give my analysis as they're both going to be competitive of mine, and I'm going to give an outside analysis. I think Pereira is a big, strong, massive, slow middleweight. He's slow. I can't say.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't. His strikes aren't like devastatingly fast, but my God, does that man carry power?
Yeah.
So for what he lacks in, like, he's like I think I'm 2 times, 3 times faster than Adesanya as well, but he just needs to land, and it's like, rest in peace. I don't even want to say his name because it's a really sad day, but Andy Rumble Johnson. I want to give me condolences, but I'm actually going to give the example of him because he is the best example of it. Yeah. That man only had to touch a little finger on your head and you'd be knocked out. So I think Pereira's got sort of that type of thing. His wrestling's, obviously thingy. He's young in the sport. I mean, I seen Khamzat call him out. I was like, oh my God, Khamzat would like definitely take him down within 30 seconds. But okay, it's a fight, but like that's not a fight that Pereira's ready for.
I think, well, you say it's not a fight that he's not ready for, but he's the champion. So he's got to be ready for all of these, because I was saying this. Granted, Styles made fights and he beat Izzy in essentially just a kickboxing fight with a bit of wrestling thrown in round 3. If he was to fight, like, say, a Robert Whittaker, Robert Whittaker's just going to wrestle him to the max. And with respect to Pereira, if Izzy could get him down, I think, in my humble opinion, Whittaker would have a lot of success in wrestling him as well.
Whittaker doesn't just wrestle. Whittaker uses his strikes and his wrestling. He done it to me in the 5th round. Like we went 4 rounds of just making each other twitch. And then the 5th round, he used strikes and a takedown to get me. And at that time, I couldn't be took down because I was shooting back up, and he succeeded. So I think with Pereira, he'd still have trouble because Pereira's quite strong. But that's my analysis of Pereira. And with Izzy just played the game again. He was just like, he was looking good. He was looking sharp. He really knows who he is as a person, as a fighter. He's not trying to be something he's not. I don't feel like he is, apart from his fucking stupid quotes and that. He's cringe with the quotes and all that. But definitely knows
which one? Give me an example. Which was the cringiest? Come on, Darren.
I can't.
Frozen like Elsa.
Coming from the Liverpool with the best banter around, mate, I can't do it. I listen to some of these guys, like these press conferences with
mate,
Jake Paul and all that, and to be fair,
can't string a sentence together.
No, he can't. He's actually the best out the lot of them. Like, I watched the promotion thing. They were on boxing, and I don't want to say this because I'm actually close with Tyson. I really got a lot of love for the Fury family, but this whole charade of Tommy, KSI, the Davey,
mate,
the Jake Paul. To be fair, I have to give Jake Paul dues, man. He's fucking working. Yeah. It looks like, from what I see, it looks like he's working hard. Yeah. And everyone's talking about him. He's actually fucking fight. He fought Anderson Silva, man. I don't care how old he was. He actually fought him. So I have to give him due. But all these other people with the cringiness and that, it's just, I can't do it.
Well, did you see it? There was a right shit show in Dubai last night. You've got Deji fighting Mayweather, which is just, come on, Floyd, I get it. You're doing bloody demonstration bouts and all the rest of it, but come on, really? Is this the level of song to?
Is he broke, Mike? Do you think? I
fail to see how he's broke. I mean, he made an absolute fortune. This is what people say, oh, Mayweather's broke, he needs the money. But he's earned a ridiculous, he's earned billions.
Well, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. So I've had this taste, and I'm UFC is different, obviously, to boxing, but when you get to that level of spending, like Conor, for example, that it's got to run out all that. You can't just be buying $500,000 watches, and the money not run out. It has to run out at some point, unless you're making an absurd amount of money. Now, I don't know, Mike.
Well, see, the thing is, if you get a good business manager, somebody like Floyd Mayweather, I mean, I think he earned what? 300-400 million off the Conor fight alone, and that's without all the rest of what he's got. I don't know his finances. I mean, he's always spending money on jets. He says 12 billion over his career. That's what the producer just said. I mean, that's a lot of dough. 12 billion.
1.2. 1.2.
Oh, sorry, so I don't see very well.
Billion.
No, 1.2. There's a little exclamation point. There's a little decimal point, pardon me, in between the 1 and the 2. 1.2 billion though, right? He's probably blown a lot of that on the private jets and the watches and the lifestyle and whatever else he does. But still, I don't think it's fair to say that he would be broke. But still, never mind that. The shit show what he's doing. Did you see all that with Tommy Fury? That fight apparently was one of the worst fights ever. Then his dad's got his top off in the ring.
Tyrone, that's the best.
Yeah, his dad's hilarious. His dad's got his top off in the ring. Then Tyrone,
I'll fight any man.
I'll fight any man alive. Come on, get your tops off. Let's go.
But is that the best? But it's just the rest of it all. What
do you make of Tyrone Woodley there calling out KSI? Sign the contract.
It just hurts, Mike. It really hurts. I don't know what to say. I'm sat here broke, but I'm not cringy. I don't know what to do. To sell your soul to the devil or not? If Jake Paul come knocking for me, would I do it? Obviously, but it's all the cringiness that goes. Tommy was actually a boxer. Now, I don't know the story with Tommy. Obviously, I don't know him well. I know Tyson and his dad and that. I've had a good relationship with them. But from what I can see with Tommy, he was a boxer from a fighting family. They are a fighting family, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
Then he went on to a reality show, and now he's come out the reality show, and he's not fighting even these, because these journeyman boxers you fight, Mike, they're still good. They're meant to carry you through the rounds to get your experience. He's fighting all these other, I don't know. So I don't think that Tommy's, I just think it's, I don't know.
Yeah. No. I get it. You don't want to say too much. But going back,
it's not that I don't want to say too much. It's not about offending anyone, right? I'll say what I think. I just don't know how to say it. What is he doing right or wrong? Because in my eyes, from my opinion, what I see, he's pulled out of the fight with Jake twice now and still chasing it. If Tommy did want to be for me, Mike, right? at all costs, I don't care what it's going to take. I just want to be a UFC world champion.
Yeah,
that's all I can say. Whether I'm skint or whatever or this or that, mate. I haven't seen me 3 kids for 2 months. I've got a newborn there, mate. I've got like young girls. I'm fucking hurting inside for them. I know people still go on about that years ago when I was like, oh, I've got a daughter, don't care. It doesn't resent. It's not about that. I'm hurting inside, man. My heart hurts. Like I want to see me kids. My kids love me. I've still got me fucking 8-year-old in Brazil. My heart hurts for her, you know.
But what you're doing is different because Tommy, let's use him as an example. And I don't know him from Adam. I've never met the guy, never had a conversation, so maybe I'm wrong. But it appears like he's trying to navigate the celebrity and the fighting and the YouTubing and to make some money and all the rest of it. What you're doing and what we do and what we all did in the UFC and what we're doing, it's a vocation, it's a passion, it's our mission in life, it's who we are. And
Mike, listen.
You're making the sacrifices because you want to be the champion of the world. And it's not about the glitz, the glam, and the cash and the fame and all the rest of it. It's about achieving your greatness in the toughest sport on planet Earth, right?
You know this because you're renowned for you were renowned for your hard work. I'm waking up on days, Mike, right? And this is one thing I know you'll know about. Rent is due, and it's due every single day, and bills have to be paid. Now I'm waking up. And every day I'm waking up and I'm nervous. Why? Because I know I'm going to Tiger Muay Thai where there's about 50 Russians my weight and my size who are there wanting to take my head clean off its shoulders or throw me into the mat. And this is on the daily. Now, no hard feelings. I fucking get along with them all great. They're all great guys. But rent is due. We're going in there and it's nothing more than blood, sweat and tears. I've got the same clothes going in and out. I don't care what I'm wearing. Rent's due, and it's due every single day, and you know about this. With Tommy, is Tommy waking up in that mentality? I know his girlfriend's like a very famous celebrity as well. Like, is rent due with him, or is he waking up in, like, as you say, this old saying, silk pajamas and getting his breakfast in bed? I ain't getting breakfast in bed, mate. I'm fucking... What do you think?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, listen, we can move away from Tommy, but what you're talking about there is, I know that feeling. And every day when you walk into the gym in an environment like what you're talking about, I don't know about you, but I used to get the butterflies, like the pre-fight butterflies, because it's like those guys that you're saying there, you don't know them. You don't spar with them all the time. You've got an arrow on your back. You're Darren Till, the world-famous fighter. They're the young up-and-coming Russians. They want to be who you are. And every time they spar with you, or when they would spar with me, they're looking to fucking take your head off because they can, there's a little bit of posture in there. They're not going to be a prick about it. They're not going to be an asshole about it, but they want to be seen to be doing well. And not just be seen for them on their own mentality. Like, because they're like, if I can go up against, because I used to be like this. If I walked into a gym and there was an established guy, like when I used to spar with Rampage, it'd be like, if I can fucking do really good or even dominate or win rounds against Rampage, then A, I know I'm on the right track, but B, for me, mentally, it gives me great confidence. So they're bringing their A fucking game every single day. And that gets you used to those pre-fight nerves, the pre-fight anxiety. And it gets you used to being pushed to the damn limit every single day.
I swear, I the first day I walked in, I was with Brem. And we were meant to be going in for wrestling. And do you know, like, Nemkov and that, the light heavyweight Bellator champion?
Yeah.
Him and all, like, there was about, like, 10 of them. They were all warming up with shin pads and gloves and that. And I was like, oh, my God, what are they doing? So I said to the coach, this was when I first arrived. I said, what are you up to? He's like, oh, yeah, sparring today. And I was like, Bren, what have we come for? He's like, well, we were going to do... I said, Bren, I'm going to jump in with these then. And the coach was like, have you got any gear? I was like, nah, can I lend some shin pads and gloves? And he was laughing. He was like, so humble. And I was like, I haven't got a gum shirt. Is that okay? And he was like, not really. I said, listen, I'll be fine. Mate, just jumped in the thick of it and just had absolute murder. Just no gum shield, just getting me jaw wiped off. And after that, I was just like, but I'm seeing opportunities. I'm looking and going, there's the light heavyweight Bellator. Absolutely no matter where he's at and whatnot. And that's what I mean, mate. Every day out here is just like that. Like me and Rafa Fiziev have just been going through it with the strength and conditioning coach, just 1 hour of pure hell. And the bills were paid today, and now we're getting ready to go to bed. But I know one thing. Tomorrow when I wake up, bills are due again. And you know, that's it, mate.
I think this is what people don't realize about you, Darren, because you got a great sense of humor. You're always having a laugh on social media. You don't take yourself too seriously, apart from when it's time to get serious. And I don't think people see that side of you, because I know you push yourself to the damn limit. I know you dedicated your life to this. You're working your ass off. And as you say, you're making all the sacrifices. You haven't seen your children in ages. You're dying to see them. You love them. Of course, you're a loving, passionate father. Whenever I talk about you, Darren, I've always got you back. I know what you're capable of. And I always say, I firmly believe you'll be champion of the world one day. And some people say, oh, fucking hell, Mike, stop kissing Darren's ass and all that. It's like, whoa. There's no kissing ass here. I'm not kissing ass. You got to credit where credit's due, and you got to know what this man's capable of. Do you see that kind of chat online? Do you see people saying, kind of writing you off and say, because I've been there fucking many, many times, because, fans are fickle. Mike, you lose a few fights and people are quick to turn their back on you. Do you know what I mean?
I've just seen that. I've just seen on Saturday Molly get beat. Yeah. And I was on MMA Junkies page and I couldn't believe the amount of comments you were saying. Like, it just gave me reminiscence of something like Hype Today. I've done a lot of shit, and I was thinking, just give the girl a break, man. Just. So what, she chatted some shit and believes in herself, just give her a little bit of a break.
That's what you're meant to do.
So it's just, for me, Mike, I'm at this point now, mate, I'm 29, I don't really care anymore. Like, I never cared in the start, that's why I used to have beef with the trolls all the time. Like, my old Instagram was probably one of the best out there.
Yeah.
I've calmed down a lot now because I'm a businessman and I'm an entrepreneur. But listen,
civil.
One thing is for sure, and we can both ask mine and Leon Edwards' strength and conditioning coach about this. I am one of the hardest workers out there. When it comes to anything, go and ask Kamzat, mate, because Kamzat trains as hard as anyone I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I will have the most jokes. I will eat the most chocolate. But when it's time to pay rent, ask anyone in Tiger Muay Thai in Bangtown. I outwork everyone because I know what I want. And I can't live with myself knowing I haven't done that. So after training, I'm still there doing all my extra shit and this and that. And that's how it is, mate. So, there's these... This is why I give Jake... Sorry to go back on about it, but this is why I do give Jake Paul respect, because I actually see him working hard, and I can't do nothing other than not hate on that. I have to respect that.
Same.
And when I see that, I see it from Jake more than I see it from Tommy. Like, so I have to take into account from what I'm seeing, Mike. Obviously, we don't know everything, do we? But from what I'm seeing, Jake's putting in real work. He's doing his miles on the road and his pads, and he's getting the best trainers out there. I have to respect it no matter what.
Yeah, no, and rightly so. And I say the same thing. I do talk a little bit of shit about the handpicked opponents and the older guys and yet to fight a boxer, but he's being smart, you know what I mean? And maybe he's going more down that route that we talked about before. He's not trying to do what you're doing right now and become a champion in the toughest sport in the world. He's trying to take his skills, his God-given talents, he's using his boxing, he's dedicated himself, and he's making a ton of money. You can't fucking hate on that. You could say he's being smarter than us because we're risking real fucking injury, and he's playing kind of a different game, but I don't want to talk too much shit. All right, so Dricus Du Plessis, what's the prediction, Darren? How's this fight going to go down?
Mike.
The connection is goddamn awful.
Did you hear me? Can you hear? Is it my connection,
mate?
Yeah, I can see you now.
Brian.
I just appreciate being one of me.
Yeah, go on, you're good.
I just appreciate being one of my friends and one of thing. Don't ask me shit like that, because what do you want me to come out and say? Oh, it's going to be you know what I'm going to say. So
yeah, no.
Come on,
no, that's not what I'm talking about. You could say something like, listen, what will be, I don't know how the fight's going to go down, but I can tell you one thing. I'm going to show up to Las Vegas in the best shape of my life, truly motivated more than ever to show the world that Darren the Gorilla Till is still going to be a fucking world champion. I know you people that wrote me off, you're going to fucking eat your words. Now, Dricus Du Plessis is a great man. He's a great fighter. But you know what? It doesn't matter who's standing across the octagon from me on December 10th, because I'm going to smash all their fucking faces in. I'm scared of no one. Who the fuck am I scared of? Fucking no one, lads. Let's fucking go.
All right, I'll do it then. I'll do it like that.
Come on.
I'm gonna beat Dricus going to be in a shake right. I'm going to get on the mic. I'm going to go, keep that same energy, everyone who wrote me off. Keep the same energy. I know who you all are. And then I'm just going to go and party and get off me absolute nut with you somewhere.
Yeah, well, I'm coming in. I'm coming in as a what do you call it? What do you call it? A normal person. I'm just watching the fights. I'm not working. No ESPN, no commentary.
Wow.
I'm coming in with the missus. We're watching the fights. Coming in a few days before. We're going to soak it all up. You and the Block Acid boys, even though they ignore me these days. Where are we going afterwards? Tell Christian to kiss my ass.
No. I love it.
Where are we going afterwards? Where's the after party? Where are we going? What are we doing?
You know me and you, Mike. We've been out before, son. We're gonna go where we go, aren't we, son?
We'll go with the flow. We'll go with the flow.
Is your wife coming though? Yeah.
Yeah, sadly she is. Yeah.
Can't go where we want to go then, can we?
Jesus Christ, Dazza. My God. All right, mate. Well, listen, we've kept you long enough. There's a good half hour there. What time are you up in the morning?
So drills, 9 a.m. So I'm up at like 9 a.m. and then I've got sparring at Target at 4:30, and that'll be me Tuesday done. Rent will be due again. It'll get paid, and I'll be back here again in the night. There's not camp's not much to talk about, is there, Mike? You train and come home. You train.
No, that's it. That's it.
You have your little qualities, don't you? Like you like a nice little bar of chocolate, and that's what.
Well, I was just about to ask you the bar of chocolate, because I've got a sweet tooth. I cannot stay away. What is the go-to when it comes to a bar of chocolate? Just finish off on this.
A Kinder Maxi.
No way, man. No way. Have you got it all in Thailand, all the British chocolate bars?
Yeah, they got dairy milks and everything. Like, they got it all. It's my fucking eyes here. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh shit! I never asked you about the eye. How is the eye?
Oh, Mike, it was probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. We were wrestling, and I was wrestling with this big guy. He's fucking great, and I've shot him for a takedown, and I swear, Mike, his finger went to the back of my brain. I felt it hit my brain. Like I felt sick. Everything. Immediately, I couldn't see. Blood was pouring out of it, and I was like, "No, I'm gonna carry on wrestling." And everyone was looking like, "He's fucking mad. No, get him off the mat." So they took me off the map, and then I've had to have like all Dettol in me because like the dirt and it's tired. I had to Dettol me eye. It was bad for days, and it's mad because I put a post up like been a great Saturday, and I thought I just put me eye. You know me, Mike. I just do post and don't think of nothing. And Chael Sonnen starts saying this is like an indicator Till's going to pull out the fight. I'm like, Chael, shut the fuck up, mate. With your
I was going to ask you
podcast. Because lad, he's scared of me, Chael, because I threatened to put his number up like I did Ariel's. No one wants smoke with Till. No one wants that.
Hey, how does the land lie with you and Ariel right now? Because he was a little upset with that.
You can tell this to Ariel. I've had nothing but respect for Ariel from the start of our relationship when we've said things to each other, just like me and you, that no one can ever hear, because he's trusted me and I've trusted him. And that trust still stands. But here's the thing. He actually got the better of me on Twitter. He wrote me off.
And you couldn't take it.
Right there. But you know what it is when you get into it with me, mate? So he went one step far. I went one step further. There's a guy we're living with now, and he took a picture of me on the toilet. And I said, listen, I'm going to give you this one off, yeah? Do you want to go to war with me? And he went, no. And I went, why? He went, because I know the lengths you're willing to go to. So Ariel needs to understand, if he's going to come at these fighters, mate, that's how it is. But I apologised to him. I said, sorry, I think we're okay. No matter what, whether he likes me or he doesn't, I'll always have respect for him, the way we've had our relationship. And you know me, Mike, I'm a stand-up guy for that shit.
You are a stand-up guy, but I will say this. Not everything is for social media, because there's been a few things with me and you, and you're like, I'm posting that. And I'm like, Darren, fuck off. Don't post that. Do you know what I mean?
No. But here's the difference with me and you. You've never fucking went at me on socials. We've had light-hearted things.
Yeah.
Ariel proper wrote me off. So I'm like, oh, yeah, is that how it is? Talking losses and fights. It's on. It's on.
Yeah.
With me and you, lad, it's always been light-hearted. You've never come after me.
No. All right, well, that's a great place to finish that one on.
But, okay, I will finish it, but I do know I'm half in the wrong, and I said sorry to him, but still, don't come after me.
Hey, listen, things happen. It's all good. I'm sure he's not going to hold any grudges. Darren, love you, brother. Say hello to all the lads at Block Acid. I'll see you probably a couple of days. As I say, I got a quick interview with you for BT Sports. So I'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of your camp. And that's about it. Get out of it, mate. Thanks for your time.
See you later.
Thanks, Darren. Take care, mate. All the best. Right, there he is, Darren Till, UFC 282 coming up in a few weeks. Darren, thank you very much. All right, guys, let's just hear from Manscaped real quick. You know the deal by now. They are the world's leader in below-the-waist grooming. Yes, that's correct. Taking care of your nether regions, keeping them all in check, keeping them nice and clean and smelling nice as well without cutting yourself. The Lawnmower 4.0 is the way to go. They have the Performance Package, which obviously has the latest version, the Lawnmower 4.0. You get the crop preserver so that, you smell nice. You get the ball deodorant. What else do you get? You get a pair of boxer shorts as well. You get a little package, a little bag to keep them all in. What else do you get? I think that's it. You get the crop preserver. You get the ball deodorant. You get the crop reviver. You get the bag and you get the lawnmower. But guess what? Guess what else you can get? You can also get the Platinum Package, which gives you everything that I just mentioned, but it also includes Ultra Premium Body Wash, Ultra Premium 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. I use that all the time. It's very, very good. And you get the Ultra Premium Deodorant. It is the best way to smell fresh from your Santa hat to your candy cane. Listen, Christmas coming up. These are great presents for your loved ones, husband, son, teenager, cousin, nephew, primarily men I'm talking about, but still they are great presents. I've given a few away of them myself, so check it out. Go to manscaped.com, use the code Bisping. If you ever got a Manscaped, you need to get one. All right, I'm telling you, you will thank me later. Manscaped.com, the code is Bisping. You're going to get 20% off as well as free shipping. So manscaped.com, code is Bisping. Get your jingle balls ready for the holiday. Anyway, Harrington, what have you got for us?
So there has been a recent survey of 2,000 Americans nationwide. It checked in with them to see how they are enjoying their vacations. And the study found that, let me look for the number here. I think it's 3 out of 5 have not had a peaceful vacation in the last 2 years.
So that's 60%, 24 to 60. 60% of people go on vacation and they feel vacation stress because they want everything to be perfect and all the rest of it. And I can certainly sympathize. But before I waffle on for far too long, Antony, is this a phenomenon that you suffer from, vacation stress?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. My wife probably more than me. Like when we went on that trip to Disney, when I first started on here, we got 4 kids, so flying and
stressful in itself.
Just getting there is a problem. For driving, which we try not to do, that's its own mess. But there's just so many things you want it to be a good time. You want to have a lot of fun, and then my wife is so schedule oriented when we're on vacation. It's we got
schedule.
I know we got to be here at this time, then we got to go here, then we got to do this, and if one of those things gets thrown off, then it throws everything else off. And then it's just this panic, and you want the kids to have fun, and then sometimes they're acting like little assholes, and then
kids are assholes.
Yeah, then they're rude, and you're out in public, and then you're never sleeping.
You can't hit them.
You can't beat the shit out of them. You
want to. You'll do it later, but at that moment in time,
no one's sleeping good because we're crammed into 2 hotel rooms or we're in an Airbnb. And so it's they don't sleep that well because they're out of their element. I don't sleep that well because I'm out of my element. It's super stressful. When you're doing the actual thing, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just getting to and from that thing and trying to stay on. It's a motherfucker.
My thing's a little bit different. I always want it to be perfect. Do you know what I mean? But then my obsession on the hotel being perfect and the experience being great and Rebecca and the kids having the best time ever, because it's not perfect, or in my mind, the hotel's not as good as what I thought it was. When I walk into the lobby and we get there, and we're checking in, we've flown to Hawaii, and we're kind of being ignored and stuff, and we're not getting the fucking, what do they call it? The thing around your neck.
Oh yeah, the lay.
Yeah, the lay. We're not getting laid. We're not getting the whole fucking thing. I'm like, and I start getting worked up. And then I walk in the room and I'm like, this isn't the room that I saw online. This isn't the room that we booked. And Rebecca's so chill. She's like, I don't care. But then because I'm so worked up over it, because I want everything to be perfect, it's going anything but perfect. And she doesn't care. And then I remember we went to the Four Seasons in Hawaii. And looking back, the hotel was amazing. And we're very, very lucky to be in a position to stay there. Do you know what I mean? And it was spectacular, but it wasn't good enough for the money I paid. I was expecting something a little bit better. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, this is crap. The room's crap. The view's crap. And then we went down to the restaurant, and like we were there for ages and we weren't getting any service. You know what I mean? I'm like, excuse me, can we get service? And then it just took so long. And then I asked for ketchup for my fries. I had to ask like 20 times to get that ketchup. And I'm like, right, this hotel fucking sucks. That's it. I'm going to look on. And Rebecca's like, Michael, it's the Four Seasons in Hawaii. It's probably one of the best hotels on planet Earth, and it's not good enough for you. I'm like, I just want it to be perfect. Did she ever
hit you with the, I know, Michael, you're the Hall of Famer, former champion.
No.
You think everyone gives a shit about you. This is just fine.
Antony, I don't act like that. She doesn't say that at all. I just want my family to have the best time possible.
I say that.
Yeah, you do a lot, and you get in the fucking comment section saying it as well. No, but then like I'm always like trying to, because the schedule thing on a holiday I hate. And anytime you do a fucking day trip, you know, like if you go somewhere and you want to go snorkeling, it's always pick up in the hotel lobby at 6 a.m. It's like, dude, I'm on my holiday. Why the fuck do I want to meet in the lobby at 6 a.m.? That means for us to get the wife, the kids, everyone dressed up, done. Rebecca does her makeup. We've got to get up at least 5 o'clock. We're on vacation. No one's doing that. Do you know what I mean? So I hate being held to a schedule. But vacation stress, man.
Yeah, I don't do well with schedules in general.
Yeah.
My wife always tells everyone that I don't respect flight times because I miss flights all the time. I don't do well with schedules either.
Let me ask you a question because my wife and I, Rebecca, we're always butting heads at this point here. When we go to catch a flight, we're at the airport. And there'll be 45 minutes or so until boarding. But technically it says flight started boarding. And Rebecca's like, Michael, we're going to go to the gate. I'm like, don't be stupid. Don't be silly. We don't have to go to the gate yet. And I'll be sitting in a bar or I'll be sitting getting some food and all the rest of it. And I remember one time we were flying and I wanted to go Burger King. I wanted to get a burger. And she's like, Michael, the flight is boarding. I'm like, babe, relax. It's going to be fine. And anyway, I was the last person to get on the plane. She was standing there holding it. I woke up with Burger King like a right slob. You know what I mean? But is your wife one of those? Does she respect the boarding time or does she like to push it?
We both, if it's just her and I, we will be the last two to get on that flight. 100%.
Rightly so.
We'll sit there and let the whole plane board first. Wait until they're about to close it and then go get on the plane. We're those pieces of shit. But if we're with the kids, she loves family boarding because she was like, not with all these goddamn kids. I'm not sliding in past all these fucking people. So that's the only time that she's really on my ass to be at the gate on time because she wants the family boarding so we can get on first.
I don't understand when you're at the gate to board a flight and people wait in line. They're standing up, waiting in line. You have assigned seating. It's not a what is it called, Southwest flight, where it's a free for all. You just get on and pick your seat. Generally, it's assigned seating. Your seat's assigned. Why are you standing up, waiting in line? And I'm the last one to get on. I let everyone walk because it's a long flight. I might be going to Brazil. It might be 13 hours. I want to spend the least amount of time on that flight as possible. So I take it as a badge of honor, being one of the last people. And I think I've really gamed the system here. You guys have been on for another 45 minutes, you fools.
Right. I got friends, a couple of them where they are like, if we're not, like if I'm flying out and there's some friends with me or something like that, I'm trying to, I was with someone this weekend. I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about flight times and they said the same thing. Like, oh no, I got to be at my gate an hour before. I got my all my stuff set up. I'm ready to go. Like, fuck that. No way. But when you travel as much as we do, think how many hours you've spent on flights. Like, no way.
Well, people like to get on early, don't they? Because of the overhead storage. They want to get their bags. And I must say, some of the size of the bags that people take on for carry on. I'm like, because in England, they're very strict about it. Like when you check in, they have like a little thing, like, and if it doesn't fit in, you have to check it. You know what I mean? So I always just check a bag. But I see people.
I do the same thing.
They're like fucking suitcases.
I have a backpack.
I bring a backpack, same thing. But some people, they bring on 2 or 3 giant things. I'm like, no, dude. No. You gotta fucking check that shit.
I check a bag every time. And Michaela, my wife, she if she can get away with just having to carry on and not checking one, she will. I don't know why. She just does. She'd rather not if she doesn't have to. But I always check a bag. Always.
I hate to bring this up, but you're talking about the airport scenario. What's Michaela gonna say next time when you haven't got the fancy pre-check that you used to because you're going through security with loaded guns?
Oh, so she still has pre-check, so she's gonna use it and stick me in the regular line. She already said that. She was like, I don't give a shit. I'll wait for you on the other side.
Yeah.
Wait for you. It hurt yesterday though. I flew out of LaGuardia home.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I had to go to the regular line, and I looked at the TSA pre-check line, and there wasn't really anybody there. And I stood in line for like 40 minutes, and I was fucking so mad. Just seeing how it's not just the pre-check line is shorter; it's the people that have pre-check fly a lot, so they're efficient. It's the type of people that get TSA pre-check. If you just fly once a year, nobody's getting pre-check.
People go on. Sorry.
The people that when you get up to that goddamn
be ready
security line, have your goddamn ID out, have your boarding pass in your right. They put their bag there.
This on. They've got fucking beers and water and this. And no, you fucking can't. Shoes off.
They take forever to get their shit all together. And
no liquid.
Yeah. Get your goddamn laptop out of your fucking bag.
Oh, I know.
Oh my!
I hate it when you're walking up. I try and pick the line. I'm like, that line's gonna go quick. That line, they've got a baby, or there's an old lady in a wheelchair. I'm like, which one? This one. I'm like, fuck, that one's going quicker because I'm always running late.
Don't you hate when somebody's in front of you and they just forget their gun in their bag?
Oh, God. Exactly.
Hey, I think we got some fucking
Antony, you can't say shit, bro.
I can't.
You had makeup and I had a bottle of water. This guy's got an Uzi 9mm. All right, anyway, enough of this nonsense.
Well, there's some resolution there. I got the paper in the mail today.
Please.
I got a $3,000 fine.
Could be worse.
And
that's like best case scenario, dude.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about the fine. I care about losing my pre-check. That's what I'm mad about. So now,
gone forever?
No, it's probably like a year. That's what it sounds like.
You just have to slum it for a little bit. Harrington. All right. So 281. If you missed anything that you wanted to hear about, we apologize, but there's a lot going on. Harrington, give us some news from the world of mixed martial arts.
Well, probably the biggest news is there is now a main and co-main event to UFC 284 in Perth, Australia. Alexander Volkanovski is going to fight Islam Makhachev for the lightweight championship, and Josh Emmett versus Yair Rodriguez for the interim featherweight title in the co-main event.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the featherweight interim title, that was a surprise. The Volkanovski Islam, it was heavily rumored, but not official. All I could think was, when I saw Josh Emmett and Yair Rodriguez, it was a dual thought, two thoughts at once. First of all, was like a fucking poor old Arnold Allen, because he's in that position where he deserves it. He's on like a 9-fight win streak. But then at the same time, I thought, well, Josh Emmett's last fight and Yair Rodriguez's last fight were before Arnold's, and they've kind of been in that position as like championship contender for longer. So it kind of makes sense at the same time.
I had a very similar thought, like, that sucks for Arnold Allen, my UK brethren. I mean, when are we gonna get another champion, Mike? When are we gonna get another one?
Well, we've got Leon.
Yeah, but we need another one.
Arnold, I think, is our best bet right now. Tom Aspinall's back. I see him skipping about on what do you call those ladders today, going fast.
Good for him.
Tom's going to be back soon.
He's going to be
We're
up
going
there.
to get another one, Antony.
But I was very happy for Josh Emmett, because he's, for whatever reason, he's just not the most loved. Not that people dislike him. He just doesn't get a whole bunch of extra love. He's put a lot of work in, a lot of heavy lifting. He's beaten a lot of top guys.
A lot of heavy hitting.
Yeah. I love to watch him fight. He's just absolute violence. I think some of it's his personality. He's very quiet, very polite. Doesn't really He's not really advocating for himself as well as he probably could. So he gets passed over a lot when I think people are talking. So I was happy to see him get into an interim title fight where if he wins, there's no more questions. He's next.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Of course, it's an interesting clash of styles, isn't it? Because Emma, as we know, I mean, he has concrete in his hands. Yair Rodriguez a little more flashy, but he's very, very effective as well. Brian, did you ever see that incident I had with Yair Rodriguez? I was commentating down in Mexico.
Yes.
The crowd at one point started throwing bottles and stuff. Brendan Fitzgerald hides under the desk and says, "Michael, come down here." I'm like, "No, I'm not hiding under a desk." And then when I went in, because I think Yair poked Jeremy in the eye.
Early.
So got called off early and like a minute into the fight or something silly. And then when I went up I touched Yair on the shoulder and he calls me a puta, which I think.
Close by to Yair Rodriguez.
Hey, credit to you though. You didn't flinch though. Like you put your no, bitch. I'm gonna put my hand back on your shoulder. Get over here. Do this interview.
Hey, you fired up. I get it. You know what I mean?
What was he mad at you about? Or is he just mad in general?
He's just mad. He was just mad. He's pissed off. He wanted to, have a great fight, great performance in front of his people in Mexico, and it ends, you know what I mean, due to an eye poke. But, bro, weight classes for a reason. But that's great. What else? Islam Makhachev, Arnold Volkanovski. We talked about that recently, but solid fight. And then I think Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa, I believe, on that card as well.
Yeah, that one was already announced. That's a good fight too.
Antony.
That means a whole lot more now, though.
Oh,
that's a big one now. Before I was kind of like, yeah, that's a great stylistic matchup, be a really exciting fight, but storylines and consequences matter for me. So, maybe Israel Adesanya wants to go and take 6 months and go chill, and maybe he doesn't fight right away. Who knows? Goddamn, like Alex Pereira versus Whittaker or Costa seems like a lot of fun. Well, it's a new matchup. There's some new blood.
It does, but there's someone else that's calling out Pereira already, and that is Khamzat Chimaev. I mean, he is not afraid of anyone, and he's calling everybody out. He said, "This is my belt. Let me fight. Let me fight UFC. Let me fight with this guy. 1 round. I finish him easy money." It's Chandler Arnold. I'm ready to go fight in Brazil. Let's go, champ. So he's talking about fighting him down in Brazil in January. Doubt that's going to happen. And for Izzy, I don't think Izzy wants anyone else to fight him, because if anyone else beats Pereira, right?
Then he doesn't get back to him.
And then Izzy comes back and beats the current champ. There'll always be the narrative that he sidestepped Pereira. And I think, listen, you can say whatever you want about Izzy, right? The man's a fighter. The man's great. The man's so skillful. And he is now going to be on a mission. So, right? And he'll be obsessing. I'm going to beat that motherfucker, right? Because not once, not twice, 3 times. I mean, come on, Antony. How would that make you feel?
Think about this. You've been on long flights to go fight somewhere and maybe not gotten the win.
Yep.
Think about what it feels like to fly back home the next day.
I know what it feels like.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's no the best moment for me after a fight is getting on the flight to go home after winning. Like when you sit down in your seat,
the champagne.
It's that mission accomplished feeling. Like last time I was on this plane, or at least on a plane, I was headed to complete this mission. And when I was getting off of it, it was like, all right, I'm here. It's time to fucking check in and let's go get this. And then when you get back on it and you got the win, no matter, you could tell me it's a 97-hour flight. I don't give a fuck. I'll sit here with this dub and I'm going home. But like the opposite of that, fuck. Well, there's no worse feeling.
Not just the opposite of that, though. But I think we touched on this recently. When you get on that flight to fly home, and often it is long haul flights. Like if someone's flying back to New York from Australia or New Zealand or whatever. And Izzy was okay. I mean, yeah, he lost the fight, but he was physically not too bad. But when you really fucked up, because you see some people, they come out of a fight afterwards and their faces look like they've been rearranged. Yeah, like Chandler or whatever. When you get on a plane to fly home and you win, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how badly you are messed up because you bloody won. But when you got to sit there on a long haul flight, you got beat, you lost half your money, you lost your title shot, you lost your world championship, and your face is black and blue. You're going to get your jaw rewired. Your nose is bloody pointing that way. You know what I mean? You've got cuts all over your face, and you lost. Oh, God.
It's terrible. It's so I can't imagine having to lay down in bed that Saturday night thinking he beat me 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
3 times. God damn. That's
3 times.
3 times. Knocked him out twice. Like, and maybe Izzy's so self-aware. Maybe he's able to check it out. Maybe he's able to check out on it and compartmentalize it. And he seems I think he was on Ariel's show today. I haven't watched it, but I've seen him. But I seen his post-fight interview, and he seemed like he was in a decent place. So is that real? I don't know. What's he really like? I don't. Maybe he's okay. I don't know.
Who was it?
I would not be.
Was it Brian and I? We were talking earlier, right before we started. He said, he was very gracious after, and he was very humble. He was very gracious. He took he said all the right things. And I'm not saying he said the right things for the sake of saying the right things, but it's really hard. And I'm not taking anything away from Izzy, from Conor McGregor, from anyone that did that when Conor lost to Dustin or whatever. That's what happens when you get humiliated in a fight. You have to show humility when you talk, and you have no choice, because otherwise you just come across like an absolute goddamn fool. How are you going to sit there in a press conference and go, "I'll fuck that guy up," blah 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 blah? When you just got beat fair and square, you can't. You have no other recourse. You have to, as long as you're a real man. If you're a real man, you have to be man enough to swallow your pride and sit there at the press conference. And I've done it, and I'm sure you've done it, and it hurts and it stings. But you got to say, you know what? The better man got me tonight. Fair play. The only time I can think of someone not doing that is when I knocked out Luke Rockhold. And I was just as I was walking into the press conference, he was saying, "I'll kill that guy. I'll kill that guy." And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you talking about? But yeah, no, I thought Izzy handled it well. Do you know what I did thought? And again, I'm not talking shit. I'm just having a laugh. That coat that he was wearing, that big, huge fur coat, it's a beautiful piece of clothing. It's not my style, but he rocks it. It
didn't look cheap.
Oh, no. That was legit. That was like probably a $7,000 coat or something, probably more. You know what I mean? Maybe $20,000. It would have looked a hell of a lot cooler had he rocked in with a belt over it. Do you know what I mean?
With a belt sitting on the table would have been a lot cooler.
A belt he looks like a lion. He looks like Simba, or not Simba. What's the dad?
Mufasa.
So you've
seen that movie. I've seen that movie.
Mufasa.
Yeah.
Who else is in that?
That's a hell of a coat.
Who's the bad guy? Who's the bad lion?
Scar.
Fucking hell. Disney movies is your forte?
I got 4 daughters, bro. Of course.
Frozen?
Yeah.
Like Elsa?
Yeah.
That's what Izzy said.
I was just going to say, just like Izzy said. See, that's tough, though, when you say shit like that and then you don't win. You're like, oh.
Hey, no.
Did you see John Jones tweeted to Dominic Reyes?
What'd he say?
Well, sometime during the fight week, Reyes had said something about just get in the game or get off the sidelines and retire. So then he gets knocked out, and John Jones tweets and says, just get out of the game or get off the sidelines and retire. God
damn. Hey,
so you got to be careful when you say shit like that, because it's going to come back and bite you in the ass.
It bites you in the ass pretty good. We just said before, Hamzat's calling out Pereira. What do you think of that?
That's a tough fight for Pereira. It's a tough fight, especially after the grappling exchanges we've seen. If you're Pereira, you probably want the rematch with Izzy, not just financially, but stylistically, it's a better matchup for sure.
Let's play a little game. Brian, could you bring up the UFC middleweight top 10 rankings, please? Show them on screen. Let's just quickly go through now. Styles make fights. Izzy and Pereira are by far the 2 best strikers in the middleweight division. Look at what Pereira did to Sean Strickland. And Sean, likes to fight on the feet for the most part. And he was having his way with everybody, and Izzy's run roughshod over the division for absolutely years. But now with Pereira, you know, listen, if Izzy could take him down, and I don't say this in there's no disrespect intended here, but they're not the best grapplers, not the best wrestlers. If Pereira can take him down, right, let's go through it. Whittaker, I think he beats Pereira.
Yeah, I don't think he beats Whittaker. I think he probably beats Cannonier, just because Cannonier's more of a striker. He can wrestle, but he's not super elite.
Vittori was having a little bit of success with the takedowns against Adesanya. I think Vittori would be smart and probably out wrestle him. Brunson,
really like Derek Brunson. Don't want to shit on him, but as he's getting older, he's fallen a couple notches on his speed and athleticism just a bit.
Yeah, you're right, but similar.
If he gets a hold of him,
similar kind of matchup was against Darren Till, though. You know, because of the wrestling. The wrestling is what I'm saying. Strickland, that would be a striking match, and we've already seen what happens there. Jacko Manson,
Costa.
I don't know about Costa.
Yeah, I don't think he beats. I don't think Costa beats him.
No, I think Costa would be confident enough to stay on the feet.
Yeah, I don't think Jack Hermanson. I don't think Jack Hermanson's a good enough wrestler. Darren Till, that'd be a banger, though.
No, it'd be a banger, and he's coming for it. He's coming for it. He said earlier.
Yeah. Gastelum. That's
It just makes it interesting, doesn't it? When you look at that top 5, 6, 7, there's a few interesting fights.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Pereira can.
Was that Chris Curtis in the rankings?
I don't know. I didn't see. Action man.
Chris Curtis,
14.
All right.
Rodriguez Duplessis, number 13. Darren's next opponent.
For Chris Curtis.
All right, Harrington, before we move on, is there anything breaking? Is there anything we haven't discussed? Is there anything worthwhile? Is there anything smugger than the look on your face right now?
Okay, well, you couch it in such a weird way, right? Is there something worth bringing up? Maybe, right? Is there something that's making headlines? Certainly. Tommy Fury had his bout on the undercard of the Deji versus Floyd Mayweather card, and Big John himself was not standing for the trash talk coming from Jake Paul at ringside.
Hold on. Before you play the tape, Brad, Anthony, have you seen this?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh, damn, you've seen it. You've seen it. Sorry, Hamilton, carry on.
So we have footage of quite a few things here. I have Jake trash talking Tommy in the ring. I have the Mayweather knockout, and I also have Tommy himself. Which one are we going to first?
How is it that I never know that Floyd Mayweather's fighting until after he fights?
Because he's fighting no marks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Deji, the younger brother of KSI. I mean, God bless him. Fair play, but they're not big combat sports stars. Sorry, Brian, go on.
It's going on.
He is mad.
It's going on. I got me some. I'm the king of the band, man. I can fight Mike Tyson to the death. All your great cycle fights. I will not be so. Let him even. Put the mic down. Put the mic down. I believe.
Jake Paul didn't look like he was enjoying that at the end.
I don't know. I think Jake was just buzzing off the sheer hilarity of it. Do you know what I mean?
That's pretty ballsy, though.
Of who?
Of Jake.
What's going to happen? It's like the Dylan Dennis Nate Diaz.
Where was this fight? Where was this fight at?
Dubai.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
There's like 1,000 people. It's like 1,000 people holding him back.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's not as cool. Like, he wouldn't go to to their home country and do that, though.
No, I don't think he would. I don't think he'd be bouncing around Morecambe. That's where the Furies are from.
Yeah,
Morecambe's a tough place. I used to go there on nights out. We had a few little scuffles back in the day in Morecambe on a Friday night.
He's not going to the UK talking shit like that.
No. But
because our people are rough, Mike.
I know the Furies. What would you do if your dad After one of your fights, is your old man still around, Antony?
No.
Oh, bless him. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but let's just imagine he was, and he rips his shirt off after one of your fights.
He's the type of guy that would.
Yeah. Oh, I want to hear more stories about your old man. He sounds like a great guy. But you know what I mean? Was there not a little part of Tommy? And I don't want to talk shit. Tyson's, he's a big star. He's a great guy. But, so you don't want to talk shit about someone's dad. But come on. It's hard not to in that situation.
I would be embarrassed for sure. You don't need, at this point in their careers, they don't need their dad sticking up for him. They probably do just fine on their own. I always think it's cool, but it's probably not to bring down the mood here, but my dad was never around to do cool shit like that or to kind of be with me through some of that stuff. So I always look at it like, damn, look how, even the Chris Weidman thing, he's still
That's my boy.
That's still my boy. As maybe Chris didn't want that moment to happen, but still at the end of the day, it's cool shit that they're willing to do that, and I'll be that dad probably.
100%. And you're absolutely right. So yeah, no, you're right. You made me see it through a different lens because he just loves his children. But I do think there is a part, old John Fury there, because he was calling out Mike Tyson for a celebrity boxing match just a few months ago, I think. I think he's trying to get in on the act. You know what I mean? Because Tyron Woodley, have you got that video? Have you seen Tyron Woodley saying, sign the contract?
To who?
To KSI, who's like the British Jake Paul, if you will.
The YouTuber?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
No, I know. Brian Harrington, please play that one. I know.
What are we
He's
doing?
still standing there by the side of the ring, sign the contract, and it's all the same shit. Everyone pulling them all back and all the rest of it. Tyron saying, sign the contract. I'm going to post it. I'm going to post the contract on social media for the world to see and all the rest of it. And it's like, come on. I'm kind of over it all now.
Yeah. It's like, it's gross,
gross.
You're Tyron Woodley, the former champion of the world. Fuck that YouTuber.
Yes.
Make him call you out.
Correct. Thank you.
Look at the fucking stands. There ain't no people there. You get in a scuffle with no persons. There's 0 persons there. No, man. Please. Come on, Tyron. Come on, dog.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I guess Tyron's trying to make some money. Can't hate on that. He's trying to make some money. He's never going to fight in mixed martial arts again. You can't hate on a man for trying to, as the kids would say, as everyone in this kind of forum, this environment, what phrase do you think I'm going to say? What do they all say?
Get the bag?
Yes!
Was that it?
Yeah. They're all trying to get the bag.
Get the
trying
bag.
to get the bag. Trying to get paid.
I get it, but you said you can't talk shit. I can talk shit about it.
Good. Go ahead, please.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Because it's not portraying Tyron Woodley in a way that I want to remember him as a former champion.
Well,
like Floyd Mayweather's kind of the same way. Like, Jesus Christ, man, you made enough goddamn money. Why are you chasing down YouTubers and nerds? Like, do you need it that bad?
Were we talking about Mayweather? Was it us earlier in the show?
No.
Apparently he's broke. Oh, I was having the conversation with someone.
Is he broke?
Recently. No, Jesus. People say that the rumors always go around that Floyd Mayweather's broke. And I'm like, there's no way Mayweather's broke. Oh, I think it was with Darren.
That was earlier with Darren.
Yeah, it was with Darren.
He's made $1.2 billion over his career boxing.
There's no way he's broke.
There's no way. I mean, listen, Mike Tyson.
You'd have to try to get broke on purpose to burn that kind of money.
Brewster's Millions. He struggled. All he had to do was lose. Have you seen Brewster's Millions?
Huh.
Oh, God. What's his name? Richard Pryor. It's a great movie. Richard Pryor. He gets something like great uncle dies. Mm-hmm. He gets left 30 million. He's going to blow 30 million in 30 days. And if he does that, he gets like the real jackpot. You know what I mean?
I could do 30 million. I mean, you could blow $30 million.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. And these kind of people, when they start living these lifestyles and these entourages and they have the private jets and they're buying watches that are $1 million.
But like Floyd doesn't drink. He doesn't party. He doesn't like.
Yeah, but the drink's not a big thing, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the drink's not a lot. Alcohol, when you've got $1 billion,
it's the lifestyle though of someone who's partying like that a lot.
It's flying around the world with an entourage on G5s, booking out the entire top floor of fancy hotels. You know what I mean? Having, I don't know, multiple ex-wives and things like that, taking half your money, not paying taxes to the IRS.
Yeah.
You know, these kind of rookie mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it would still be hard to burn $1 billion.
Extremely hard. Extremely. But hey, Mike Tyson did what? Like, it was like 300 million, I think, in the 90s, which is probably equivalent to that.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? People
he had a pretty bad drug problem and some crazy shit and some lawyer fees and some lawsuits, though.
Yeah, no, he did. But, you know, drug, again, the same thing with the drink and the drugs. That's a 300 million. That's a lot of cocaine to go through. You know what I mean? I'd be surprised if he can still get anything up his nose by the end of it. And if he hasn't got a deviated septum and needs to go to the hospital, you would die before you do $300 million worth of cocaine. You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's Brian says it's about 536 mil with inflation. Well, still, either way.
Shit ton of cocaine.
It's a lot of cocaine, bro.
As I'm rubbing my nose like I'm just over here doing lines or something here.
He also had tigers. Apparently they cost like $30,000 a week.
Yeah.
Well, you can get a tiger in Texas right now for like $3,500. Google it. It's there.
Well, Rebecca just walked in. Rebecca, because, you know,
we should get a BYM tiger.
We should do
it could be both of ours, but we'll keep it at your house.
I was just going to say we'll keep it at your house. 30 grand a week. No, I was telling you before Rebecca's just walked in, Mikey, the horse, has got colic right now, which basically means...
How's Mikey?
Mikey's my horse.
No, I said, how is Mikey now?
Oh,
you going to get an update?
Well, I don't know. She just walked in looking a little fuming because basically the intestine kind of twist and it can cause like a blood strangulation. I think they can die. So she just walked in. We had to call the vet out. They stick a hose up the ass and they fire water. Then they stick a tube up the nose and they pump oil in. They're trying to clear the blockage and stuff. So fingers crossed. But we got a vet out yesterday, emergency visit on a Sunday. We had to get the vet out today. Do you know what I mean? So good
thing you're working this weekend.
Who we talking about? Blowing money? Floyd Mayweather? Maybe he's got a bunch of horses and the wife keeps calling the vet out, you know?
Jesus.
On that note.
Are you not going to give us an update? You're not going to ask her?
Rebecca!
I'm invested now.
Come here. We need an update on Mikey. You know what she's going to say? I'm not camera ready. She hasn't been lately.
Let's hope she doesn't watch this.
Oh no, she doesn't.
Yeah,
Rebecca, are you okay?
Yeah.
Everything fine?
Yeah.
Antony Smith would like an update on Mikey.
Oh, he has an impaction and he can't poop.
He has an impaction and he can't poop.
Is he going to make it?
Put a tube. It's okay. They put a tube in him.
They put a tube in him
and pumped in.
Come over here.
Water and mineral oil.
Come over here. What are you doing there? Oh,
okay.
Hello.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Are you doing better? How's Mikey?
Oh, he's okay. He's so he was colicking yesterday. So we tried to do a couple of things yesterday that didn't work. So we've tubed him today. Well, we haven't. The vet tubed him and got some fluids in him and some mineral oil and some laxative. And I just went to check and he still hasn't passed anything. So
what is the likelihood of him dying?
No, don't say that.
No, I know.
Is he? That's I wanted the update to make sure he's going to be okay.
No, he's going to be fine. Of course, he's going to be fine. Yes.
Perfect.
Antony, you have many horses, donkeys, calves, orangutans.
Yeah, the horses aren't mine though.
Giraffes. Is it giraffes you have?
No, I tried to buy a camel.
I tried to buy a giraffe.
I thought you were joking.
No, I'm serious.
No,
what is the most exotic animal you have?
Nothing super exotic. The donkeys are fun. The cows are a big pain in the ass.
The cows. So have any of them had like a similar kind of condition? I don't mean necessarily.
We lost
life-threatening.
We lost a calf like, I don't know, 6 weeks ago.
Oh, why?
I honestly don't know. They were completely weaned off the bottles and were totally fine. And then the calf was acting really weird. So then they took it into the house. I think I was traveling. So they brought the calf in. It was cold and he just didn't make it. They don't know what happened. He was so young. Yeah.
What was the cow called?
It was a calf, so we don't name the ones we're gonna eat.
Not worthy of a name.
Well, we named the first two, and then it got weird because my kids are, like.
Do you then like kill them to eat them? Okay, yeah, that would be weird. You can't give them
the
names.
first two we named Ribeye and T-Bone.
Yes.
My kids thought it was awesome, but like
the next time you have
it's getting weird.
Next time you have a cow that you think that's going to die, call it Harrington.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And Brian and Harrington. That's great. They're good dog names, actually. Come on, Brian and Harrington.
The next two calves we get, we'll name them Brian and Harrington.
Brian and Harrington.
They're like the BYM mascots.
No, but it's Brian.
I know.
No. Make sure you eat it while it's veal still.
That's veal.
Fucked up too.
Yeah. All right, sweetheart.
Okay.
Are you okay? You okay?
Thank you for the update.
A little upset.
No, I'm fine. Fine.
Well, next time we need more smiles.
She's upset because she probably got the check.
Oh, did we get the check?
Bill.
Did we get the bill from the vet? Not yet. That's never a good sign.
That's not good.
They're going to invoice me.
They're going to invoice.
That means it's expensive.
They're going to invoice her.
She's probably going to come again tonight.
Oh, she's coming again tonight.
No.
Fuck Mikey.
Anytime they say, yeah, we'll just, can you give us an email and we'll invoice you in a couple days? Because they're like, they need to digest how much this is about to cost.
That's the way it always goes. All right, guys, coming up to the end of the show. It's question time. You know the drill. If you've got a question, video question, we like that. T-shirt designs. Oh, by the way, we had some great T-shirt designs sent in, Anthony. And we're adding a merch shelf, so we'll have merchandise out soon. You guys sent in some great T-shirt designs. On the next episode, we'll go through with some of them. It's the end of this show, so we'll go through some of them. We'll show which ones we're going to turn into actual real life T-shirts. There was a cool one of Harrington that I really liked, actually, and it's just like a cartoon picture of him and a speech bubble going, "Okay." but it's actually really cool, but we need to add some text on it. But if you do have a question, please send it in to bympod@gmail.com.
And if you're enjoying the show on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, make sure you're subscribed. Leave a 5-star rating, positive review. People really like it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you hit the notification bell to find out whenever new episodes drop. And hit that like button if you're watching the live premiere. It really helps out in that first hour. Also, if you want to catch over 300 episodes you can't find anywhere else, head to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code BYM. Get a 7-day free trial. Check out over 20 great shows on the network.
Smoothly done, Harrington. Harrington, come back on. What was the highlight of your Saturday night? What was the highlight of MSG for you?
I mean, there were so many. Honestly, I mean, that Poirier Chandler fight, getting to see that live was, that'll stay in the memory banks forever. But I mean, getting to hang out with Antony Smith. There's no treasure fight like that.
Oh, bless you. What a nice thing to say. All right, Brian, what do we have, buddy?
All right, so the first question here we have is from Doug Norton.
Hi guys, my question is for Mike and for Anthony. I'm a massive fanboy of Michael Chandler. I think he's easily one of the most exciting fighters we've ever had in the UFC. But at the same time, if you didn't know him, looking at his record in the UFC, it doesn't in any way do justice to the real story and just how talented he is. He's got all the skills to beat most people in the lightweight division. But despite doing some incredibly dominating performances, he's not quite able to get it over the line to hammer that nail in. So what does he need to do? What does Michael need to do to just get it over the line and get some wins stacked up, try and get a bit of a streak if he can? Love to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, good question, Doug. And we were kind of talking about this earlier, but Anthony, I'll let you lead the way.
Yeah, I think it goes right into what we were talking about. Really, if I'm his manager, I'm going to pull him out of these big moment fights probably and go down the rankings a little bit and get him in fights with guys that he's more likely to beat fighting the way that he fights. That's option A. Or then he can go on a little bit of a streak and then get into a title shot. Or you got to figure out how to get him to fight not the way that he wants to fight. You got to figure out how to slow him down, get him wrestling more and earlier. And really chase these submission attempts, really work on his finishing abilities as a jiu-jitsu guy, as a grappler, and kind of save some of the firefights for when he really needs to. not when he wants to.
Yeah, no, totally agree. The only thing I would say, and obviously it's easy for me to say this because you went first, and just piggybacking on what you said, he's 36. At 36 years old, I question, is he able to do that? Is he able to reformat his fighting brain? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously that's who he is. That is in his DNA. And that is why we all love to watch him fight. Because you can't deny Michael Chandler is unmissable. Every time he fights, you goddamn tune in. And if you don't, you're a fool, you know? And that's because it's not just because, wow, that fight was crazy. It's every time he fights, because that's the way he fights. And obviously he lets the moment, the adrenaline, whatever you call it, that dog comes out of him and he throws down, and it's beautiful to watch, but it does cost him. And if he did have a more strategic game plan, if he did control himself a little better, if he was a little more strategic, if he wrestled more, and certainly now to your point as well, I don't think there's any shame in going down the rankings a bit, getting 2-3 wins together, and then going back into the very, very top of the food chain. Because that's all he's been, all right, Dan Hooker was a decent level, entry level fight. Since then, it's top of the food chain guys. One
he's swimming in the deep end
after the other, and he's getting nibbled by sharks. You know what I mean? The sharks, they're just chipping away at his career. Do you know what I mean? And it might affect his legacy. He'll always be remembered
as for sure
an incredibly entertaining fighter, and he was a Bellator champion. But at 36, and he wants to fight Conor McGregor, and I think there might be a chance down the line of that.
To be fair, I think that's one of those fights where you're going down in this level a little bit. I think that's more the level of fight he needs to be in. Obviously, that popularity-wise, that's going to be a monster fight. But as far as like his skill level, I think that's more where he needs to be. At least to get some confidence back.
Yeah, you know what I think? Michael Chandler doesn't strike me as the kind of guy, because I understand your point, get the confidence back, because generally you need to do that. I don't think his confidence is going to be affected. Do you know what I mean? Because like even at the post-fight press conference, he didn't seem like he was annoyed. He didn't feel like he'd come up short. It was just like, I got fucking caught in that rear naked choke. I was doing well. I was winning the fight. I like the guy, though. I'm going to reach out. We'll try and get him on the show.
I'd love to talk to him.
Yeah. Brian, what else we got, bud?
All right, so the next question we got here is from Mr. Christian Barnett.
Oh, Barnett.
Hey, gentlemen, this is Christian from Maine, and I have a question for all four of you, but more specifically for Mike and Anthony. This question popped into my mind because of the rule changes that were implemented to the sport this year, being that now it's 5 minutes, a 5-minute break for an eye poke to the discretion of the fighter, where it was previously to the discretion of the referee. I was wondering if all four of you had specific rules that you would like to see implemented, either that have previously been implemented or that haven't been implemented yet, that you would think would benefit a striker or a grappler. I guess two specific examples off the top of my head would be I would like to see headbutts put back in, or I think everybody knows those benefit the grapplers, or at least that's what we saw Mark Coleman use a lot of. And then the knees to the grounded opponent. I think everybody knows that grapplers being able to create that safe space for themselves when they're considered grounded is, I think that would be a rule that would kind of even it up and benefit the strikers. So I was wondering if you guys had any specific rules that you guys would like to see implemented. One for a striker and one for a grappler. Again, thank you very much. Big fan of the show.
Well, thank you very much. Do you know what we're going to do? First of all, he's out of his mind bringing back the headbutts. Do you think he's going to be on ESPN? We're all headbutting each other. Do you know what I mean? Listen, street fight, headbutt all day. Go-to weapon, Antony. Do you love a good headbutt?
I was thinking about headbutts, groin strikes. We could go back to those.
Oh, no. Are you serious?
No, I'm joking. No, fuck the headbutts. Knees and kicks to grounded opponents, I think just those two alone, I think, would change the dynamics of the fighting a little bit. I know it's going to be hard to be on mainstream TV like that, though.
I don't like the knees to the grounded opponents. I feel that could be really dangerous, but I don't like the rule, and I want this changed. You know, the whole 3 points down and you can knee him in the head, or if you know, that whole game, that you need to do away with that. If he's on his feet, even if his hands are touching the floor, I say you should still be able to knee the guy in the face.
I agree with that. Like if the soles of your feet are on the ground, let them fly.
Let him fly. If you hit the deck, you know, then I don't know about that. But Harrington and Brian, this will be funny. Harrington, in your infinite wisdom of the beautiful sport of mixed martial arts, what are some rule changes that we'd like to see implemented if such a decision was bestowed upon you to make?
Legalize the 12-6 elbow. Done.
Good one.
Okay, I'm with that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Literally going to go with that. That's the best thing I could think of.
Yeah.
What else can we think of? I mean, they're all pretty.
The rule sets are pretty good. The rules are pretty good.
Are you allowed to pull somebody's hair?
No.
Change the rule. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect me.
Hold on.
Doesn't affect me at all.
We've had this question a few times over the years. For the most part, other than the obvious things that we just mentioned, I think the rules are pretty much bang on.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
There's some people that say they would like there to be no rounds. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that?
No rounds?
No rounds.
Like just a 15-minute fight?
Just a straight out go for it.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I actually don't. I don't think I'd mind the 10-minute first round. How Brad used to do it.
I did that one time in one of my fights.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. It was like my 4th or 5th fight.
Yeah, I don't think I would mind that.
Yeah. Yeah, the rounds will be an interesting thing to play with. I'm certainly not advocating that we do away with rounds. Just an interesting topic of conversation. Brian, we got one more?
We sure do. And this one
Well, listen, can we just make a petition?
What's that?
Well, we need Roland Vixer. Roland Vixer.
Oh,
you know Roland Vixer?
You know Roland, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He hasn't been showing us any love recently. I would play it if he sent a video in.
Vixer, we want you to send in the questions. And what's the other one? Danny?
Son of a bitch?
No, our little friend, the cute little girl.
Diana.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Diana. And we need some comedy questions.
No, she left us. I think she broke up with us.
She got a little bit of
And
fame.
the girl with the pink hair never sent in no fucking question.
Pink hair girl.
She's watching. She's watching. I know she's watching because she was a big fan of the show. She hates us.
We do need more ladies to watch the show. It's a very, very poor demographic on our.
No, it is. It's like 99.999% male. So Danielle, keep,
come on,
doing you.
Come on,
give us a question.
So this next one is from Kieran Jones. He's a local from your way.
Oh,
okay.
Hi both, it's Kieran here from Wales. I'm living in Liverpool at the minute. I've got a question for both of you and I'll try and keep it short. It's fucking annoying when people bang on for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Michael, I came to see you live in Manchester about 1.5 years ago. You signed my book at the end, so cheers for that, mate. But before you signed my book, you were talking to about 5, 6, 7 lads. It was at the very, very end. You were absolutely fucking bladdered, so I don't remember. I don't think you're going to remember anything, mate. But do you remember who the lads you were talking to were? I get the feeling they were somebody from your school when you were growing up. I was just always curious to know. And Antony, I'm currently about 1.5 months into recovery from a complete ACL tear and a meniscus injury from rugby. Some idiot jumped on my back whilst I was running. It just blew my knee out. What is your top recovery advice?
Right. Well, first of all, thank you very much for coming to the live show. I wasn't absolutely bladdered. When I did those live shows, I was forced to down a few drinks. So, I was a little bit tipsy. But by the time you do like the meet and greets afterwards, and right at the end, we were there for goddamn hours. I was not bladdered and I was not drinking beers then. But no, I do remember exactly what he's talking about. I don't remember you specifically, mate. But Antony, have you got any advice, any words of wisdom for this guy?
Not really. He's got to listen to the doctors. That's probably my biggest problem, because I don't ever listen to I've done a better job this injury, but you know, I'm always trying to get back too early and I got shit I want to do and I don't like being held down. It's just part of being having that athlete mindset. Just got to listen to the doctors and just do as they say, even as bullshit as half of it sounds.
I know, because it is rich for me to say, because I never listened to the doctors. That's why I had to have like 6 surgeries on my eye, because I kept trying to rush back too quickly. But the reason I bring it up is because Callum just had surgery and he's had a bunch of surgeries already, bless him. And every time I'm like, son, I go on and on and on. And I'm sure he's starting to hate me because I'm nagging at him so much. You know what I mean? I'm like, son, please listen to the doctor. Like the day after the surgery, he's walking in the kitchen. I'm like, he just texts me, you can't walk until Monday. He's like, Dad, it feels fine. I said, it doesn't matter if it feels fine. And you're on pain pills. Of course, it's going to feel fine. Please, for the love of God, and to our friend who with the question, listen to the doctor.
100%.
100%. All right. Should we call it a day?
Yeah, that was a good one. What have we been on here? 2 hours? Something like that?
Whoa. We've gone 2 hours. Plus the Darren Till, 2.5 hours. It's a long one. Baby boys, you got your bloody money's worth today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's the show. Thank you very much. Subscribe, ring the bell. We'll be back Thursday. We have Yuri Prohaska as a guest on Thursday. We also have Renato Moicano on Thursday as well.
Best post-fight interview ever.
Oh, give me the fucking money. I want fucking money.
Moicano wants money.
Moicano wants money. Guys, thank you for watching. See you Thursday. Bye-bye.